unloading the meat. 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 I don't even know what it means, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. I'm unloading the meat. 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 Unloading the meat.
Welcome to episode 2 of Unloading Meat. I am your host, Jared Ralphie Allen. Yes, you heard that right, Jared Ralphie Allen. I am a struggling stand-up comedian, otherwise known as a fat poor. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We are dropping new episodes every Monday here on YouTube and Spotify. And you can listen to the audio portion everywhere you listen to your favorite audio podcasts, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. Stefano's put it everywhere, guys. He's really on point right now. I gotta give him props for that. Guys, if you liked episode 1, I think you're really gonna love episode 2. The guest goes in a completely different direction. I have the wonderful, the beautiful, the ultra entertaining Little Miss MG. And guys, I'd only met her briefly beforehand, so this extended episode really made us friends. You can see the start of a beautiful friendship on this show. I really think you can. It was fascinating getting to know her backstory, see how far she's come in such a short time. And I can honestly say that she really inspired me to try more risque things in my stand-up, even just a few nights after having this conversation. So Little Miss MG, I'm eternally grateful for you coming on the show as a second guest and really helping set the tone of what this show could be even more. And guys, I hope you enjoy this fantastic episode of Unloading Meat. This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite box delivery food service like HelloFresh or ButcherBox, but it could be. And honestly, it probably should be. Have you seen this guy? I'm a full-time fat ass. And honestly, if I had one of those subscriptions, I probably would lose quite a bit of weight because I've looked at the food and it looks pretty damn delicious. I mean, all food looks delicious to me. That's kind of the problem. But if you want to stop these fake ads, make sure to reach out to your favorite company like HelloFresh and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now, back to the show. All right.
Hello.
And I would like to welcome to Unloading Meat my special guest. We have Tulsa's premier trash clown, Little Miss MG. How are you doing, Little Miss MG?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
There's so much to look at here. This is a really fun space.
Thank you.
Pretty content here. This is great. Yeah,
kind of makes the imagination go wild, especially after we smoked a little bit.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It's like, I'm like looking at, Black Panther right now, or he's looking at me.
Well, he's looking down on all of us, apparently.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Too soon?
No, nothing's too soon. No, I'll get dark. I'm gonna get real dark real quick. I can do anything. Like we can do silly.
Wait,
I can do dark.
You just segue from Black Panther to dark. Are you trying to?
Well, you said he was looking down on us, and
he's
dead.
Okay. I thought we were going racism already. I was like, man, we're gonna have to edit this shit up quick.
Oh, see, I didn't even think racism at all. I was thinking because he's dead, like looking down on us from heaven. That's what I thought you were saying. I was not. We were starting with racism and dead Chad Boseman.
Yeah,
like, this is a good
facts.
This is a good start.
For those of you who don't know, and can't honestly tell, Missy does burlesque, and she's a burlesque clown.
I'm a burlesque clown. I'm a
she's
drag
a burlesque clown.
Yes, drag clown, comedy clown. Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh gosh. Well, the clown, that's a whole separate thing. Like it's very multifaceted. I've been doing stand-up comedy for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in July.
Okay.
But I've been wanting to do comedy since I was like 17. Like, well, I knew I wanted to be a performer early, but like with the comedy thing, I was like, I could do that. I think I could do that. And I crept on some like open mics when I was like 19. I signed up for a couple classes at like the Comedy Parlor when that was still around in Tulsa, and dropped out. I was just too scared. I was so scared. And then I was like, I'll try it before I'm like, 30. And then I hit 30, and then like, oh, I'm going to try it before I hit 35. And then I turned 34. And I was like, all right, let's do this. But I was actively writing and like kind of planning it during the pandemic, actually. Yeah. And like, I know with episode 1, which if you haven't watched it yet, like go back and watch episode 1 and then episode 2.
Oh, you're gonna piss him off so much mispronouncing his name.
Well, it should be Stefano. When he emailed me, Stefano. It's like I'm part Italian, so I'm gonna read it as Stefano.
He calls himself Stefano. I don't know why.
You're doing it wrong, Stefano.
We'll have to bleep that out because he probably doesn't want that out there.
Oh, yeah. We can't. Like, I haven't used my real name in years. Like, I'm completely. I'm
the executive producer, and I just outed him to everybody. Hey guys, he's also an introvert. His pronouns are no.
My pronouns are it's. That was a Pennywise joke. No, I often get confused or misgendered as a they. I give off they energy, and like I call myself like the gayest straight woman in Tulsa because I know I'm kind of sexually ambiguous looking, like whether I'm in this or in like,
I don't know. My pronoun is just obese.
Your whale shit was like, oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. If you haven't watched the last episode, like go see.
I actually used it last night in my stand up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Like, and you start, you're like, we are not body shaming here.
Well,
like, I look like the guy that Brendan Fraser's portraying. Like, I lost my shit. I made a joke about Roscoe, actually, at Tulsa Comedy Club. Were you there that night?
No, but I made fun of Roscoe, Lynn, and then I started making fun of myself last night.
Okay.
I was trying to work on a little bit more crowd work and stuff,
Yeah.
to get some stuff going. I
Yeah,
told
'cause,
Roscoe.
like, and I know we can talk about Roscoe because, like, you're going to do an episode
Yeah,
with
he'll
him.
be up here.
So,
just
and
a
he
few
can,
days.
I want him to see this
Okay.
because, like, he was gone. He's generally the host for the Tulsa Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Or for,
Shout out
open
to
mic.
Roscoe, by the way.
So,
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite male enhancement such as Blue Chew or whatever other names they have. I really don't know anything about the products. I obviously don't take them. This guy over here, Stefano, does, right? You take them? Which one do you take? You don't? What do you mean you don't? Obviously you don't need. Wow. I'm just sorry, guys. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm just really more impressed that he actually got laid. If you're tired of these fake ads, make sure to reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now back to the show.
he usually hosts the open mic at Tulsa Comedy Club, and it just depends on if shows are going on or not.
Yeah.
But like, he wasn't there, and JB Watkins was hosting for him, and I'm like, oh, give it up for JB. We love having him here. Roscoe couldn't be here. He's, on tour and promoting his new movie, The Whale. And then I started making fun of fat people, and it was one of my best sets because I'm like, you know what? Let's play with this.
Yeah.
Like, what is this bitch saying? Like, what? Like, I know I'm a big bitch, and
Yeah.
I'm like legit fine with it. I'm not one of these like.
You gotta be comfortable with who you are.
Yeah. Like like it takes a lot of confidence to leave the house like this.
Yeah.
Like, but then I also hate myself, which is why I'm a comic.
Yeah.
Like, comics are weird. We're like
We
half narcissists and like cocky. I can be cocky as hell. And like my stage persona is really cocky, but then like drop me in a grocery store and I do a bit of this on stage. Like, put me in a grocery store and I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I'm terrified. And I try to look when
That's
people...
mostly because I shoplift. But
That's comedy stand-up. Oh yeah, and I started making fun of fat people, and I was saying how because I'm somewhere in the line between like I love a lot of the body positivity shit.
Yeah.
I really do, and some of it like, and then there's people who I find a lot of it funny, and this is like just how I cope with life is just make like when I stop taking stuff seriously. This is like part of my midlife crisis,
Yeah.
I think.
that's my whole set was pretty much about fat jokes and stuff like that mostly, and even about myself.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah. Like I make fun of myself too. Like it's
Roscoe, I said, you simultaneously look like somehow every dude that molested me as a child and every dude that thinks original flavor Monster is delicious.
that is.
And then he had to ruin it. He was like, well, I like Red Bull. I was like, well, for the fucking joke, you can fucking laugh at it, motherfucker. And then I looked for Lynn K, and I was like, Lynn K, where are you at? And she was like, I'm right here. And I was like, no, seriously, you blend in too well. It's dark. I said, Lynn K, you look like you're based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
Lynn did a good roast against me at a roast a few weeks ago for a friend, Jesse Willett, who's leaving. And what did she say about me? She's like, I first saw, and this is true. She's like, not only is this like the only person I know who like leaves the house in lingerie just all the time, and I wear nightgowns as dresses. Like that's true. Like most of my, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, but like most of my dress, like that's a cute satin dress. I'm like, things as a nightgown, like from Target in the clearance section. Like that's what I've been doing for years. I liked the early 90s. Okay, like. I like
Fashion
that 90s.
by Amazon Basics.
Yeah. Like, if you pull up my pictures, I'm probably in nightgowns in, like, most of This is Slutty Pennywise, and I was slutty. There was a draglesque performance. Draglesque is the blend of drag and burlesque. That was our, like, spooky-themed one. And I think I have another one in that same outfit.
Let's see.
No. Okay, that's definitely a nightgown. Yeah, that's. I usually just have like pink on my eyes.
Well, I mean, if you have the ass, that's flaunt 'em. I mean, that's what I always say, right?
Oh yeah,
that's why I like most of my comedy about my obesity and my diet. Possible diabetes. It's gonna happen eventually. You know, it's gonna happen.
Oh, you're definitely pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
Like if you're not already.
Yeah.
Are you pre-diabetic?
No, not yet.
You're absolutely pre-diabetic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not mayonnaise in these veins yet, okay?
No, I love like going back to making.
It
fun
is
of...
a little cum, but
like. There's like 8
my diet has increased in that since I came out.
There's like 8 conversations happening. I love it.
So, was she a hooker or prostitute? Sex worker. I'm not trying to shame. I'm just more curious. She wasn't? You went on a date? How the fuck are you getting laid? And how the fuck are you not needing a company like Blue Chew? Who, coincidentally, is not sponsoring today's episode of Unloading Meat. But they could be. They could be. If you're tired of these fake ads, make sure to reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor this show. Now, back to the episode.
Little Miss MG. So my name is my comedy name is Missy Monica Genesius. So Little Miss MG is my drag and burlesque name. And that was from a drag competition or a drag show. Oh, that's Krampus. That's me as or a Clownpus.
Clownpus.
Yeah, because I do clown drag, and I know a lot of people like it confuses some.
I love the hoe. I love the hoe.
Oh yeah, and my ass said ho. I can send this picture later and we can put it in. But my ass said ho ho. So ho ho ho. And I did. Were you at this show, Man in the Corner? No, I did that to Tainted Love by Marilyn Manson was
Real
the
quick,
song.
try testing it out.
Test.
Can you hear him?
I can hear him perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
I think we should still just refer to you as the man in the corner who drove me here. People can take what they want from that.
Yeah, we can do that.
No, he's I consider him he's my comedy twin, so I'll give it away to the people who do know. Okay, so that's Little Miss MG again. That was for a Broadway themed drag show I was in, and that's John C. Reilly's version of Mr. Cellophane from Chicago.
Oh,
and I had my clown shoes. I had the clown shoes on in that one because I do like dancing and shit in clown shoes, like in my form of drag. And a lot of people, especially because I'm, I'm assigned female at birth. I was born a woman. I'm a like cis straight woman. Like I'm like, and I know I give off that like the queer vibe, like it,
Yeah.
And like I confuse a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of there's a lot of people who think I'm transgendered, or there's a lot of and that's fine. Also in my drag, it's like I do gender fuck clown drag. Basically, I wanted to do my own thing.
You gotta elaborate on that.
Yes, I absolutely
because for our
will.
viewers, I don't know if they know what gender fuck drag quite means, and I don't know if that's on Urban Dictionary.
No, because it is.
Oh, it is. Did you put it in there? I think the dude in the corner did.
The dude in the corner.
That's always a dude in the corner that's editing Wikipedia and Urban Dictionary.
Isn't that like a cuck thing too? The dude in the corner.
Oh,
you're definitely in the cuck chair right now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm in the cuck chair.
You're
right
absolutely
now.
in the cuck
yeah,
chair.
you're
right
absolutely
now.
in the cuck chair.
Oh, this is so great. But so generally people, they hear no drag, they think of RuPaul, they think of drag queens.
Yeah.
I am not a drag queen. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And there's drag kings, that is, women who dress up as men. And but I've learned that there's so many different styles of drag. It's insane.
It's almost a spectrum,
It is a spectrum.
like autism.
It is like autism. Oh my gosh, like
Jenny McCarthy's getting really red flagged right now somewhere.
Jenny McCarthy's not watching this shit. And no one's watching her either. She's irrelevant.
That's true.
But like
The next, I mean, she'll never get another show until. Okay, we're gonna have to cut that part out.
we should have like a whole like
something. Your kid needs a vaccine. She's gonna come running.
No, I believe most comics and most drag artists that I've worked with are absolutely on the spectrum or at least neurodivergent.
Yeah.
Like, you put us all in a room, it's insane.
I just suck at counting cards.
There's a lot of shit I can't do. Like, again, like, what did I say earlier about
Say
going
the
to the
N-word.
No! Why are you making it about race again?
No, you were saying things you can't do, and I was like giving you examples.
Oh, that's true, yeah. A lot of people aren't going to like that you said that.
I know. That's
I
why
know.
it's going to be cut from this episode.
The man in the corner does not care about offending people. I'll tell you about to a degree.
What do you say, man in the corner? Do you have any comment on that? She's kind of leaving you just as a cuck and just...
Oh, yeah, I
You're not
forgot.
going to defend yourself at all? You're good.
Bipolar.
Just the one-word answer. Bipolar. No, this... Yeah.
Oh, I love this episode already.
I know. This is already... We're going to have to come back, like, already.
You guys are welcome back anytime.
Yes.
Anytime.
Yes.
So, please don't sexually assault Sting. I know you don't know who he is, but...
Well, he has, like... He's asking for it. Look.
Oh, you haven't seen the best part.
What?
Let me see that thing.
Oh, no.
He's a wrestler.
Please don't put your dick in him, please.
That was last night. I already cleaned him. There's a fleshlight attachment.
No.
You just love his attire and his makeup.
But here's the thing. I have this whole, like, drag and wrestling are not that different.
No, they're not.
So anytime anyone, like, well, why do you do that? What do you get out? It's like, are you into wrestling? Not that different.
That's Sting.
Oh.
So
I will
that's Sting.
absolutely, next time I come here, I will do that makeup.
And he also does clown makeup too.
Really?
He had a.
His name's Sting?
Yeah, just Sting.
Just Sting, like the singer?
Yeah.
How is that allowed?
It's a different type because it's a scorpion thing. He's been around since the 80s.
Oh my gosh.
Like
I will totally.
That was his clown.
Alrighty. So I like to do slutty clown versions of things.
Yeah.
And like, again, like the Trump is a good example, but I will absolutely
Well, I
come here
totally
to
thought
like,
because like
as like a slutty Sting.
I'm sure you saw the AJ segment when we talked about AEW a little bit. My wrestling thing. He's not a wrestling fan, so I like to talk a little bit about wrestling a little bit with people that don't talk about it or know about it. So I brought Sting on for you. So this is the funniest action figure / toy I've ever had because if you
I'm
know
back
Sting,
and ready to. What the fuck does that mean?
Sting is like hardcore Christian and very like not like he's not like anti-gay or anything like that. He's just more he's very religious. So like even his segments in wrestling
Ew,
stuff
I
like
can
that,
see
he doesn't
ICP
curse.
from here.
He doesn't do anything. But
For the record, I don't give a shit about Insane Clown Posse. And what's the funniest thing is, I've done a lot of roast, and that's one of the easiest roast I get is like something about ICP over here,
Yeah.
and I was like, they're just black and white. Okay, I have color.
well, as long as you know
I'm
what
prettier
magnets,
than them.
as long as you know how magnets work, I think you're fine.
Fucking magnets. How do they work? That's one of the most ridiculous videos. If
Yeah.
go YouTube it right
Go watch
now.
Miracles, guys.
Pause this and
Go
watch
watch Miracles by ICP. If you need a laugh, smoke some weed,
Yeah.
and then you will have
Fucking
a good time.
magnets. How do they work?
That's a direct quote from ICP. Lyrical geniuses.
I would totally love to go to like. Don't they have like Juggalo Fest?
I'm
I'm terrified of juggalos, but like I
it's
would.
called The
I would-
Gathering. I'll have you know. Treat it seriously.
Are you being serious?
Fuck no.
Oh, the man in the corner is now giggling. I think this is number 4. I think we're at number 4 of him.
I could put a counter like giggle corner and man in the corner.
Oh,
It's better than what the usual man in the corner does, is just jerk off.
Does he really sit in the cuck chair, Stefano?
Yeah. Yes. We're also at a counter every time you mispronounce his name. He's gonna add it and be so fucking pissed off.
Well, he should have been here.
I know. Damn it, Stefano. Why'd you have to get a fucking kid? Okay? Why'd you have to knock up a bitch? And now you have her 3 days a week. But the funniest part about that Sting doll is, like I said, he's very religious and PC. Do you hear the sexual comments on this?
Did he say try harder?
He said try harder, hit him. It's a wrestling, but you're supposed to wrestle with him.
Oh!
Available at Walmart, kids. That's him coming.
Oh, but drag queens are the threat. Drag queens are the threat. We're afraid of drag queens. People being afraid of drag queens is the dumbest thing that's been happening in the last few years. Drag queens are scary, but this is okay?
Yeah.
Ew.
It makes you feel dirty, doesn't it? So the fact that you brought up the fleshlight and then it's a sex toy, it's not far off when I turn the sound on.
Is that his nipple?
Yeah.
No. He
He has
a
nipples.
nipple?
He has nipples.
Aw. What'd he say?
That ain't happening. Man in the corner's dying.
Oh. Okay, I don't think I want to play with him anymore.
Okay, here, let's turn him off.
Please turn him
Because I
off.
don't want to turn him on. Now available on Grindr. He just moaned one last time. I turned him off. He
Hey,
went,
Grindr,
"Ugh!"
Grindr, please sponsor us.
Dude, I would totally get sponsored by Grindr. I would totally. I mean,
I want to try Grindr once because, again, like I said earlier,
I don't
I'm
think
like,
it's your demographic.
well, I know, but I love like.
Maybe hoagies and grinders. That's a sandwich joke.
Oh, I was thinking of like Chris Farley as the lunch lady.
That's where I got it from.
Oh, okay.
Hoagies and grinders, navy beans, yeah.
We
don't
can't
wanna-
sing that.
Yeah,
We'll
we
get
can't
canceled.
copyright. Yeah.
I will absolutely dress like this man. Though.
So I wore a suit last night on stage, or just like I had a nice. I was dressed up last night.
good, and I
And-
love the glasses. Like
Thank you.
I like that detail. I'm a big fan of branding.
Well, my thing
know.
was like I was making fun of Roscoe, making fun of people and stuff like that, and then I wanted to get back to myself. So I was like, I look like an overdressed Chris Farley trying out for Chippendales, and it was part of the gimmick. And then I was like, or I look like I went to the barber and he confused the Last Samurai with the Last Supper. Man in the corner gets it.
Yes. No, when I get roasted, it's usually something about. Like, I literally got a roast one day. It was like, Missy gets her makeup tips from drag queens. And it's like,
Make a wish. A goth wish. It was ash from a weed. Make a goth wish.
oh, I should have done Ash Wednesday.
put out more albums.
I actually don't care for The Cure. There's a lot of stuff I don't like.
Poppycock. No. I just like saying that word. Mostly because cock.
Do you want to guess who my favorite band is of all time?
By your hat, I would say Wang Chung.
Who? Oh, everybody. No.
I was just making a cup of noodles reference.
Oh, because it's Asian.
Yeah. It was the heat of the moment.
Sometimes I'm too literal. This is why I suck at roast battles, because like I'm too literal. Like
I just suck on Grindr.
oh, jinkies. All right, I'll give you four I'll give you 4 guesses on who my favorite band is.
Can you give me at least a genre?
Oh,
Like, because that's
they're
a
kind
pretty
of
wide,
they're kind of multi-genre. Okay, I'm not gonna say one of them because
or a
it might.
decade, or like,
Okay, more popular in the early 90s. They're still together. Early 90s, mid 90s. I don't want to say one of the things because it'll give
Pearl
it away.
Jam.
No. But I love grunge. Like it's actually it's not grunge. Okay.
Foo Fighters.
No.
Okay.
So it's not grunge.
Okay.
Before you say another guess, it's not
Okay.
grunge, but their genre is kind of a mix. They do rock, kind of bluegrassy, kind of country, kind of there's a violin in it and a saxophone.
Nathaniel Ratcliffe.
No. And
Okay,
there's-
so like I'm of this generation where our attention spans are like nothing. Like,
how old are you?
oh, actually, I'm the same generation to you. 34.
Okay, no, I'm about to be 36.
Oh, okay. So 2 years difference.
Okay, but yeah, they're a jam band.
Okay. Grateful Dead.
No, but think 90s. Think 90s.
Fuck, Fish.
Almost. You were so close. The man in the corner is losing it. Because this is one of my favorite quirks about me. Is
Fucking
people
Weezer.
No. Can I
Yeah,
just
go
say
ahead.
Dave Matthews Band.
Oh God, get off the fucking show. No.
Everybody gives me shit for
Every
this.
day.
Listen,
I look like the guy from the fucking video. I just need a fucking hat.
no, here's the thing. Like, I get shit for this all the time. Sometimes people like that's a joke. I'm like, no, I have loved Dave Matthews since I was 7 years old.
I like some
Like-
of his songs, but it's kind of like
Mhm.
Hootie and the Blowfish, where like you
Mhm.
can't understand a lot of the shit he's saying.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Well, and here's the thing, I'm one of those people, I don't like to yuck people's yums.
yeah,
Like, you know, like I don't give a shit about football. I don't care. I don't even know how the game works. Like I get confused as hell. Like I get a touch of the tism, like watching football. I don't know what's happening. Tight ends. And like there's something wrong.
Man in the corner has no idea what's going on because he doesn't have a headset.
He's like, it could be anything.
So was it like, did they like owe your family a debt or something? Was it like Hatfielders and McCoys? No. I'm just flabbergasted. Like, how are you getting laid more than I am? And how are you not needing a sponsor like Blue Chew? Which again, could be a sponsor of Unloading Meat, but they're not right now. If you'd like to change that and stop hearing about Stefano's sexual escapades, reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now, back to the episode.
I don't understand when people think things that they like. Like, you obviously have a lot of passions. You have a lot of things like, you know, I fucking love Batman. And like, I don't like Superman or Spider-Man. Like, I don't care. I really don't care about Spider-Man. There's some people like, oh my God. Like, like I just like told them their grandma's ugly. Like, they get so offended. I'm like.
So I just have one question. Who hurt you?
Exactly. It's like, and more importantly, show me on the doll where I hurt you. Like, this seems very.
I can bring back the steam doll. He can reenact that shit, and he'll even have sound effects.
I don't want him back.
Show us on the doll. Ugh.
But like, because people.
Not now.
Jesus, it's all over the place.
I know.
Is this the Rocketeer?
That's Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't even seen the second one. There's just shit I don't get to.
Those movies are great to get high with.
Oh, I bet.
They're very visually just appealing. They're beautiful.
Anyway, I just think people should just be able to like what they like. And like, I know that. Do I think Dave Matthews Band is the best band ever? No, absolutely not. Do I think Dave Matthews is the best singer? No. Even he knows that.
Yeah.
Like, they don't take themselves seriously. Like, they're fun to watch. Like, I prefer them live. I've seen them live 20 times.
I bet they would be great live. Like,
oh yeah, they give 3-hour shows. They're doing shit in their 50s. Like, they have only skipped like 2 or 3 summers with touring. They've been touring since 91.
Yeah.
And like, it's insane how much I know about Dave Matthews.
Well,
like,
I don't shit on any band because, like, I'll show you an example. Like, one time I got free tickets to a Maroon 5 concert. I'm not a Maroon 5 fan at all.
No,
I mean, I've heard them on the radio. I've heard,
there's a couple songs I like.
Couple songs, yeah. Like, I heard Adam Levine on, like, Howard Stern doing some covers like Purple Rain and stuff, and it's beautiful. Like, he can really sing.
Yeah.
But I got free tickets to BOK Center. Let's go watch it.
Right.
Went there. One of the best fucking shows I've ever seen in my life. Like, they are fucking performers.
Right.
Like, and when they're live, it's the full band, guitar, drums, bass. It's not a fucking pop track.
Right.
It's a rock show.
Right.
And then they have a fucking walkway descend from the rafters, and he's walking out to the crowd with his fucking wireless electric guitar.
That's
just
cool.
playing solos. And I'm like, now I'm a fan of them because live, they're way better than I just hear on songs.
Right. Oh, and that's the same. That's what I tell people. Like, I don't want to share Dave, quite frankly. I like that they're really not mainstream. Like, they get associated a lot with like frat boys, like the frat boy culture, and like that was true for a long time, but they're not there anymore.
It's not like they're wearing Oakleys.
You're right. Like, but I'm telling you, I've never met an asshole at a Dave show ever. Everybody, like, I bet there's some assholes that have been fucked at a Dave Matthews show. Oh, absolutely. And also, they're really cheap. Like, I'm very spoiled because I've never paid more than like $80, $85, like, for a Dave show. Yeah. And like cheap, you know, and like the people are like, it's because they suck and no one's. It's like, actually, no, like a lot of. I think it's funny, this whole. We're very we talk in absolutes. Yes. Everything's extreme. Yeah. Like, again, like, I look like I cry myself to sleep to My Chemical Romance, but no, I don't care.
You jerk off to My Chemical Romance.
No, I actually jerk off to AFI. Oh. If we're being like Miss Murder.
Girls Not Gray?
No, Miss Murder is the only song I like from AFI.
I like Miss Murder. It's a good song.
I just like little songs here and there. Yeah. Like, and then I have random obsessions like Dave Matthews. Like,
Well, I found AFI from wrestling, actually, because CM Punk, his original entrance music on the Indies, I don't know if you know who CM Punk is or heard that name, was Miss Sarah Cantor. It's like a 1-minute intro for one of their albums. He walked to the ring with that, and it's like a dope intro to an album. Like, it's metal as fuck.
That's cool.
It's a really cool intro. It's just like them chanting, like hate and stuff. And it's like a 1-minute song.
That's
It's a really cool song. And then Miss Murder.
That's about the
Yeah.
only two songs. And then I think Girls Not Gray.
We can't sing it.
No, we'll get copyright struck.
Okay, but you mentioning Adam Levine, Maroon 5, I once saw Barry Manilow in concert.
Ooh, nice.
And
my mom's a huge Barry Manilow fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Is her
Yeah.
favorite song Mandy?
I don't know if it's Mandy. I don't know actually know what her favorite Barry Manilow song. I know her favorite song, surprisingly, is ZZ Top's Tush.
Is her favorite song of all time?
Yeah.
That's fair. Wow.
Yeah. Like I don't know why, but like she goes to ZZ Top concert and like that's just one of her things. That's her specific favorite song, and I have no idea why.
Yeah. My favorite song of all time is Crying by Roy Orbison.
Ooh. That's a good one.
That's my favorite. And up there is like Unchained Melody.
Ooh, yeah. I wish
Is
I
a
could.
good one.
Do you do karaoke at all?
Uh-huh.
I do too.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that's honestly how I
My
started.
go-to is usually Amy Winehouse. Is
Really?
my go-to. The Man in the Corner has seen me do karaoke.
I actually
My go-to is Amy Winehouse or yeah, like Amy Winehouse.
So Amy Winehouse when she was alive or current Amy Winehouse?
Both, whatever you want.
Oh, because it'll be a little like now.
Well, my voice, my shitty voice is getting me more like.
I thought you were
I
trying to
should-
say I sound like Amy Winehouse now, because I was like, well, she's been dead for like 10 years. That's
Oh,
a
I
kind of
know.
an insult to yourself.
Yeah, it kind of wasn't a shock though.
Yeah.
Like it's
No.
one of those sad thing. Like yeah,
The fucking song "Go to Rehab." No. Like, yeah,
like I
it was a
don't
cry for help.
right.
And the studios were like, keep printing money.
There's very few celebrity deaths that are like shocking.
Yeah.
Like they're like there's
And
only
they
a
always
few-
come in threes.
Mhm,
They always come in threes.
mhm. It's weird. Like Alan Rickman, shocking as hell. That
Aw.
sucked. That sucked. And I think I jinxed it because like when David Bowie died, which that was January 11th, 2016, and I believe he was holding the universe together, and like that's when shit went downhill.
Bowie, yeah, and then he released that dark album, his last album. I don't even listen to it. It's hard as fuck to listen to.
I love it because like that is artistic as fuck. That's when
It is.
because when that album came out on his birthday, which hold up,
So I'm assuming you're a big Bowie fan.
yes,
I love Bowie. I sing Bowie on
Bowie is
karaoke.
one of my biggest influences in terms of performance.
Ziggy Stardust. I sing at karaoke.
Oh yeah,
I love Ziggy Stardust. I love singing Fame. Or not? Yeah, not Fame. Yeah, Fame.
I don't know if I've ever done a Bowie song at karaoke.
And then
I haven't done karaoke in a long time because like all my energy goes to this like
Yeah.
comedy, drag, and burlesque.
Well, like during COVID, like where I couldn't do shit because like so I've been divorced twice.
Okay.
My second wife and me, our biggest hobby was like karaoke, like every weekend and stuff like that. That's how I kind of like got my stage kind of presence going and stuff like that. Because I honestly feel
It's
if you
good
ever,
practice.
yeah, guys, if you ever want to try out for stand up, try karaoke.
Yeah,
You
for
can get a
real.
lot of stage jitters out of your way, feel your way out. It's a pre-recorded track. There's no pressure at all to perform. You can be shit-faced. And
Yeah.
you're performing to drunks that are all just wanting a song to listen to and tap their foot. You could even start riffing and talk up there and joke, and they'll even like you as a bit. It's a great way to get ready for an open mic or something like that. Is just kind of
It really
feel
is.
into it.
Oh yeah.
But when COVID happened,
I would much rather lip sync though. This is where like when I do drag, I'm in my element.
yeah.
I'm completely in my element. It is my. I love it more. I love it more than comedy. I feel. Let's say this. Because I use comedy in it. I'm
Yeah.
very comedic with my drag a lot of times, but I mean a drag clown, but like I don't know if it's like the costuming or the makeup or whatever, but it's I feel more confident in drag than I do in comedy.
Yeah.
Like I don't do comedy competitions. Like it's not my place. But also my objective as a comedian is different from a lot of like me and like the Man in the Corner and like a few of us, we just do it as a hobby. Like
Yeah.
we're like I don't want to be famous. I used to think I wanted to be famous like when I was younger. Like the first thing I wanted to be when I grew up, like you know when like what was the first thing you wanted to be when you grew up? Like when you were a little kid. Can you remember?
Besides Power Ranger and not raped.
Childhood molestation and rape is where comedians are made.
Yeah, it really is. You're made in a dark room and told to shut up. And then somebody finishes, and then you start crying eventually.
That's sad that so far the hardest laugh I've had is over a rape joke. But
Yeah.
like I've been Me Too'd thrice. I can say whatever the fuck I want. And here's the thing, I'm not saying you should like
I've been Me Too just because I weigh this as much as two people.
oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's why I gotta get 2 seats when I fly.
It got really dark right there too.
No, like, I
nobody
just-
laughed at that shit. Holy fuck!
No,
it got
I'm like-
really real. You're like, you have to buy 2 seats on a plane. I feel so sorry for you.
No, because again, I'm really literal, so I didn't. Sometimes I don't catch jokes.
oh,
You can ask a lot of people. There's something like Missy, it's a joke. I'm like, what? Like,
this is where Stefano's gonna be like, yeah, it wasn't fucking funny, fat ass, or something like that.
like I thought we were talking about rape and molestation, and then like there's
It's all intertwined with me. That's my history.
and here's the thing, and because like I do comedy for the fun of it, and it's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
That's mainly what I started actively writing during the pandemic because and I know you mentioned the pandemic was horrible for you. Like
Yeah.
2020 was like, oh Jesus, like my life is so different now. I was working on my bachelor's that I had been working on and off forever. Like I worked in the mental health field like for 10 years in total. Like in
Yeah.
between there was stuff, but I always went back to mental health. And like really if I think back on it, like again when I was like 4, I can remember like one of the nursery attendants at church asking me and my brother what we wanted to be when we grew up. And my brother said like a fireman. And like he's not a fireman now, but he's a fire protection engineer, so he kind of stayed he makes hella money. His room, like his man cave, looks a lot like this. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
really?
on the Snapchat earlier. Yeah.
Oh, he's the one that's down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So like
Hopefully he's watching this. Better
Mm.
motherfucker.
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite VPN providers such as Express or Nord or any other VPN product that is constantly bombarding you with ads on every podcast, YouTube clip, everything that you ever watch. Hell, I'm honestly, VPNs, you guys should just be advertising on every Pornhub site and any kind of adult site because, guys, if you're ever trying to, wank one off real quick and you need to be sure that your favorite cable provider is not browsing on it, hop on a VPN. And guys, if you're tired of these fake weird ads, reach out to those VPNs and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now, back to the show.
consent is sexy.
Consent is sexy.
I saw a shirt like that once, and I really wanted to punch a cat. Like
yeah, I
was
just want
like,
to come on it.
No, I didn't want to come on it. I just
Not
wanted
the cat, the shirt. The cat's what you clean up with.
Oh God, the man in the corner loves cats. That is another clue.
Oh, really,
To
man in the
Tulsa
corner?
People. Yes, he has 2 cats. He's a cat daddy.
Oh, well, I'm allergic to cats, so deadly allergic to cats. Like the worst time I ever had, I went to a party once and I didn't know they had a cat. The cat got into all the jackets, and it started storming, hail, and stuff like that. And it was like 20 miles from my college, so I put my jacket on. I'm like, I'm gonna head home. I'm drunk. I've smoked a little bit. I'm not feeling that great, but I'm on the road trying to get home back to my dorm. I start breaking out. The cat hair got around my neck. My throat starts swelling shut. My eyes start swelling shut. It's raining and hailing, and I have to drive 20 miles to Claremore.
Oh,
I start calling my friends, and I can't even talk, so I'm like, get me out of the car. Like, I couldn't talk or anything, and I get there, and I have to literally crawl out of the car and crawl out to them, and they give me, like, a fucking antihistamine drug, and I just fall asleep on my friend's couch. Like, that's the closest I ever got to, like, dying from it. So cats can be just go fuck yourselves a little bit, cats. Your dander. It's just your dander. Like, if they had, like, head and shoulders for cats, that'd be cool.
you want to hear one of my jokes or one of my
Go
usual
ahead.
openers is like when I do my stand up is like, I'm recently celebrated 5 years clean and sober. It usually gets an applause. Take a sip of my drink from the body and blood of Christ. I'm a recovering Catholic. I usually ask if there's recovering Catholics in the room because it's like you can take the girl out of Catholicism, but the Catholic guilt doesn't fucking go away. Like, it doesn't go away. It never goes away. Like, when does it leave? Like, I believe that when babies are baptized, they're dipped in a vat of holy water and guilt because it sucks. I'm so comfortable and happy with myself. I do like who I love who I've become. Little Missy would love this. Which brings me back. See, everything comes in full circle. We were talking about when my babysitter asked, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
And I remember saying, I want to be Dorothy.
Oh, Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz?
and she was like, "Oh, from Wizard of Oz." I said, "Yes."
Yeah, the
And
red slippers.
that's in my top 5 like favorite movies of all time. I like love the book series. I
Okay.
hate Wicked though. I hate Wicked the
So
musical.
what is your top 5, if you had to give top 5 movies?
Okay. And there's really no particular order.
That's fine.
But like, and I also have categories too because it's like there's films and there's movies.
Okay, so
You know.
let's say films. Top
Okay.
5 films.
Okay. Oh, top 5 films.
Or just like your favorite film. You don't have to
okay.
be top 5.
I
Whatever you say.
think my
Top of your
favorite.
head.
Yeah, my favorite film is There Will Be Blood.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like I think
The
Daniel Day-Lewis
Lewis and,
Paul
Paul-
Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson. No,
Paul Thomas Anderson.
I
I
don't-
get a lot of directors confused.
Paul Dano is the one that's in it.
Paul Dano is one of my favorite actors.
Yes,
and
yes. I first saw him
I
in
love-
Little Miss Sunshine.
That's in my top 5.
Really?
It's, yes.
High five.
It's one of my comfort movies. I watched
Yes.
it this week. This and like so it's Little Miss Sunshine, Ghostbusters. I
Okay.
fucking love Ghostbusters. And like I love the sequel too, but like I
Yeah.
just love the series.
What about
and
the
like
female one?
no.
Yeah.
I don't, and here's why. And this is where I piss a lot of women off because I know I look like a bitch who like men hate,
Yeah.
which they hate me too. But like I piss women off all the time. They do straight women overall do not like me. Like they may and like
Well, it's
but I-
mostly because their husbands are jerking off to you, probably, or something. I don't know.
probably. I mean like apparently I fit like
Not to discriminate, but you do look like a certain type of fetish.
oh, absolutely. I fit a lot of fetishes and I didn't
Yeah.
know about this until like mid-30s.
And we're back.
We were just having like, armchair therapy.
Yeah. Otherwise known as I had to take a shit.
Unloading the meat.
Yeah.
Ew. I grossed myself out with that one. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually if meat's back there, I have to use lube.
No, we just had a private conversation.
My
about...
dad's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Jim?"
Does your dad watch this?
Eventually,
No, that's cool. I think.
my dad's okay with me coming. Like I recognize myself as bi. I come out as bi.
Okay, cool.
I have a few family members that don't talk to me anymore, just situations because of that. They're very religious, and there's their viewpoints. I have my viewpoints. We had a blowing up around
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. We don't talk anymore. Yeah, the natural Thanksgiving man in the corner. You can talk. You can laugh. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Put the mic up to the mouth. It's like a cock. You gotta have it right there.
The man in the cuck chair.
The man in the cuck chair. What are you gonna say, man in the cuck chair?
I'm sorry.
You got anything to add about Thanksgiving? Okay, it's me.
He mouthed.
No.
No, but so I was actively writing. I forgot I had my hat on. Should I talk about the hat real quick?
Yeah, let's go ahead with
All
that.
right, so this is my clown hat. It's been
Is
my
it-
clown hat for 8 years. I made it out of a cup noodles thing. Am I allowed to say that? It's a brand.
It's cool. It's okay. Well, yeah.
Okay, and like newspaper and like cardboard and like electrical tape
That
and like some pom-pom balls and like it started like I should find a picture of what it started out as because like back in like 2014 this is exactly how the clowning started.
Yeah.
Well, besides like I've always been obsessed with like the circus,
Yeah.
sideshow, freaks, like all of it, and I always liked clowns, but that was something that's not cool to talk about
Yeah.
because honestly I think most people who say they're afraid of clowns are bullshit. Because I know it's real. I
it
know
is real.
I know chlorophobia is very real, and I know there's some scary ass clowns out there. I know that.
one of my best friends, shout out to Pablo, terrified of clowns. Like
Mhm.
literally
Oh,
will
yeah, and
pass out.
Yeah, I have a friend, same thing, and I know that like anything can be a fear, but I think most people are lying. And I asked them because it's socially expected to be afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
It's socially expected
Well,
to be afraid of clowns,
I
like
te-
spiders. And I asked them like, "Oh, I'm scared of clowns." I'm like, "Are you? Tell me why." They can't give me a good answer. And some people like, some people like, I just don't like them. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's okay.
well, the first time I
just
tested
find
out
them
with my
very
friend,
comforting.
I tested with my friend when we worked at a cell phone store once, and
Mhm.
he was on the phone with a client outside on the floor. I got a clown mask at Walgreens, put it on, and I was like, "Hey, Pablo, come to the back." And he's on the phone with a customer, and he walks through the door, and he just sees me, and he's just like, "Give me 1 second," and he's just like trying to not pass out on the phone and on the sales floor in front of all the customers, and I'm like, "Oh, I went too far.
Uh-huh.
I may have went a little too far."
I wouldn't like. Here's the thing. Even though I love being clowns, I would never. If
I
someone
just thought he was full of bullshit. I was like, you can't
Right.
really be that scared of him. It's a fucking
Right.
clown we talked about.
yeah.
Oh, he is. He is. I'm
See, 'cause
sorry.
I don't want to scare anybody, but also like if you don't like clowns, like don't follow my shit. Don't come see my shows. Like
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah. So like
No.
when he sees the thumbnail for this episode, he's probably be like, "Oh shit, I didn't even tell him that you were coming on."
The thing is, I'm not in full clown because
Yeah.
I can't find my clown white, which is my foundation.
Yeah.
Which I'm in clown face like most of my time. Wouldn't you say, man in the corner? I'm pretty much in clown face a lot these days. Like I'm rarely barefaced. That's just during the day in real people land and where it's scary. But like grocery stores, I hate grocery stores. I find them, I'm terrified of them. And I think what shocks people is I have social anxiety, and I used to have like some mild agoraphobia.
Yeah.
Actually. And the pandemic really brought that back. Comedy upsets people sometimes. But you know, like, and like us, like, I'm making rape jokes, like.
That woke man in the corner up so fast. He looked up from his phone. Oh, man in the corner was just like, rape?
Where? Like, and that's where, because, and this is, see all the tension that's being broken right
Yeah.
now? This is therapy. This is therapeutic. Yeah. And I kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, and that's why I do comedy.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic to me. And like, I'm usually not like this when I do stand up.
Yeah.
Only sometimes if it, like, I'll do roasting as a clown, because like I just like it's easier to do as a character.
Yeah.
And I'm like not taking it seriously.
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite food delivery service such as DoorDash or Uber Eats, but it could be. You can obviously tell from this frame I use those services quite a bit. So help me out and help the channel out. Reach out to those companies and tell them to sponsor this fat ass. Now, back to the show. I went through a dark path in 2021, and then 2022 I came out of it and got on the right meds a little bit, got that adjusted. Started working on this. I was a full recluse. I did not leave this house 2022 mostly.
Wow. Okay.
And then into 2022 I started stand up after I got this built.
I fucking
So
love that.
that's kind of where we're at now.
I love it. Like, no, this shit keeps me alive. It
Yeah.
really does. And like, and I thought I wanted to be famous. And like I said, going back to the childhood story,
Yeah.
like I wanted to be Dorothy.
Yeah.
And oh, my other favorite movie is Dark Knight.
Okay.
So Dark Knight,
Love it.
Little Miss Sunshine, There Will Be Blood, Wizard of Oz, and Ghostbusters are like my 5 favorite
That's
movies
great.
of all time. And I have other categories. Like
Yeah.
I think Children of Men is like one of the best
That's
films
a
I've
great
ever
movie.
seen. I wouldn't watch it every week. It's
Yeah.
pretty dark, but like I'm like, this is one of the most well-made pieces of film I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Like I love nearly everything Coen Brothers related,
Yes.
including one of their most underrated movies that I love that no one seems to like is The Lady Killers. And it's
I
starring
love the Lady Killers.
Tom Hanks.
Yes.
That is Tom Hanks's
Oh my god.
one of my favorite roles of his.
And then the dude that's from Sons of Anarchy, he is in it as the dumb one. He's the muscle.
Yeah. I don't watch Sons of Anarchy, but like, because he was also in like
Remember the Titans.
Yeah, you can kind of see the clown shoe.
You can. The sexy clown shoes.
I can almost do complete splits in these. Almost.
Wow.
Almost.
Wow.
Almost. We're getting there. We have to stretch out a bit.
But yeah, I don't want to get famous. I don't want to get famous from this so
Uh-huh.
much as I want to be able to just like do this for a living and get enough
Yeah.
to where I can pay for my family, pay for everything on the bills,
Right.
and this is just what I do for a living.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
I do get paid
Yeah.
to. It's insane. I get like, sometimes get paid as a comic, but also it was like, oh, this is a cool extra.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't expect to get paid at
Yeah.
all for it. I didn't know the scene was the scene. Like I just started it because I wanted to. It
Yeah.
was a goal I had, and I was like, rip the Band-Aid. You know, I left my career. Let's go back to Judy Garland. Okay, like so.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I said I wanted to be Dorothy.
Yeah.
And the nursery attendant, her name was Miss Bunny. May she rest in peace. Her
Shout
real
out to
name
Miss
was Bunny. Her real name was Bunny. She was lovely.
Rest in peace, Bunny. Rest in
Yes,
peace.
and
I don't
she,
know you, but rest in peace.
Yes. But she was like, oh, Dorothy, like Wizard of Oz. Mike. She's like, oh, that's an actress. Her name is Judy Garland. I said, I want to be Judy Garland when I grow up. And she started like laughing. She thought it was so cute.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I'm dead serious. I want to be Judy Garland. And Judy Garland was probably my earliest influence. Absolutely. And like I'm almost like, I think she died at like 47, and I'm like, I didn't think I'd make it past 30. So
Yeah.
like there's still hope that like I could die at 47. Like be like I was kind of bummed I wasn't in the 27 club, to be honest.
Well, medicine's come a long way since like the 40s or 50s too.
Right. But I'm almost like, I'm never gonna be
Our life expectancy's like doubled.
right. I'm never gonna be iconic and be the superstar that Judy Garland was, but like I had the pill popping and the eating disorder and like the failed marriage. Like we're almost there. The weight fluctuation. Like
I
I've
think
been
you're
tiny, I've
focusing
been
on the
big.
wrong aspects. Though.
I know, but Judy Garland is like.
It's like I'm Fat Elvis without the talent.
Oh my gosh! I got a side note. I watched the Elvis movie, and we can record this and put it in.
Yeah.
Because like I really don't. I haven't. I get into these weird stages, especially when I'm being creative and
Yeah.
doing shows and working on stuff, like I don't want to watch something new.
Yeah.
Like I there's so many shows and movies I haven't seen, and like I think it's again going back to people taking shit personal. Like I don't give a shit if people don't like Dave Matthews. I
Yeah.
really don't care. More for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to share him anyway. He's mine.
You want to know what my top 5 are music is?
Yes.
So my favorite bands, I have them tied. Queen, Foo Fighters, because I'm a big Dave Grohl fan.
Dave Grohl is a
Dave
fucking
Grohl,
renaissance man. He's one of
and
the best
Rest
ever.
in peace, Taylor Hawkins.
Yes.
And then, completely out of left field, the Four Seasons, Frankie Valli,
I love that.
because I sing
I
Frankie
love
Valli at
Motown.
karaoke.
I
I have a
love
high pitched singing
Motown.
voice.
Yes. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I sing a lot of Frankie Valli. The Darkness, if you know the Darkness, the band, like I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
Yes.
I will
yes.
sing that. Like
The Man in the Corner Knows the Darkness.
I love a lot of high pitched stuff because I'm very.
Nice.
That's my natural voice. You can hear is more
Yeah, it's higher.
higher than
Mhm.
for a man. So just just naturally.
See,
I
and my
sing.
voice is deeper. Like
Yeah, so
no.
like Mickey Mouse, I can do and stuff like. Oh boy,
I did
get
not.
your ass over here.
I did not expect any of that.
You-
You want to hear my favorite joke of all time?
Sure.
It's you probably know it. So Mickey Mouse was visiting his lawyer because he was getting a divorce from
Okay.
Minnie Mouse. Let me get this straight. You're divorcing Minnie because she's crazy?
And then
And he says, "No, she's fucking goofy."
I've heard that. Yeah. She put a mouse tool up his ass and everything. And he was like, "Gorsh." She didn't use lube, but he was like, "Yeah."
I feel like,
Headphones keep falling out.
especially when my eyes were closed and like just with like the Mickey voice just like got me.
Oh. It's like I try to I've been wanting to do that. Like, what if I can reincorporate like scenes from Drive with Ryan Gosling, but do it with Mickey? Like, hey girl.
Oh,
I
love
am working
voices
on
so much.
another I have a gay chipmunk laughing, or if he's on Grindr and he swipes right. Like,
I used to be able to do a good witch laugh. Like I naturally have a witch cackle.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it for the audience.
Like my natural witch cackle laugh.
Let's do it.
I don't know. Someone has to make me laugh though.
Obesity.
Yeah, that's my witch laugh.
Man in the corner is fucking dying.
And it's real. Like I feel like my favorite gift to use is like the evil old crone witch from Snow White
Oh, really?
laughing and going into the basement. Like that's me. Like that's my aesthetic.
That was your freaking Tinder profile.
No, that's my Grinder profile.
Oh.
Actually.
Grinder's fucking creepy, man.
I've never been on it for obvious reasons.
I mean, you could see all types on there. Like, it's nothing. There's nothing. I'm not shaming anybody. Everybody deserves their own kinks. Get off how you want as long as it's consensual and they're above 18. I turned on my Grinder. Anyway, you see
So
all
did the
types
man
on
in the
there.
corner,
So
obviously.
a lot of the dudes either look like me or they look like you currently.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Like, there's some so I had a dude on there that was totally full. Like, you'll see trans, you'll see different, female to male, male to male, or male to female, all different types.
Non-binary.
Yeah, and there's some dudes just dressing up in feminine clothing and stuff like that and drag. And this dude was like, I couldn't tell what they are because you never want to assume. They could be they could be trans, or they could just be simply in drag, or they could just be dressing up for their sexual kink. You never know what's gonna happen on that one.
A lot of people don't know what I am. Like
Yeah.
most of the time.
So you never want to assume.
No.
So this dude,
And I know that's part of my shtick though.
yeah,
Is I want to confuse them.
I thought this was a passable female to male.
Okay.
Like total, like they sent pictures and it was like stunning. They had a full boob job, everything. I was like, you're fantastic looking.
Mhm.
Until they started speaking, and you can look a certain way, you can dress up and look as feminine as you want, but once you start speaking, there's a certain dude speak when they're horny that it just comes out. You don't suddenly start talking like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You don't start flirting like a woman. You start flirting like a dude. So the next thing is like, I want you to fuck me in the ass hard. And then I want you to push the shit out of me, and then I'll shit on you, and then we'll play in the shit together. So after I cleaned up, I blocked them.
But like, you just never know what you're gonna get on Grindr, okay?
That sounds stressful.
Yeah, it is.
Like I don't even like social media. Like it's a necessary evil. I don't fucking have a TikTok. I don't give a shit. Carol Burnett didn't have a TikTok. I don't want one either.
Well, if I was only on a diet of Tic Tacs, I'd probably lose some weight.
No, that was my diet in high school. Like back when I did ballet and shit.
Mine was just
Yeah.
virginity.
My favorite.
I lost my virginity to a Wiccan.
Is that true?
That's a true story.
Oh wow. Christ on a cracker.
Yeah, literally, they were religious.
See,
And then some porn where you come on a cracker. Have you heard about that? It's also like a man in the corner suddenly is nodding his head, and I don't know what to take from that. Is that your kink? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we can talk about it. I can activate your
I
mic.
fit a few kinks I found out. Like I'm at the age where like, okay, apparently, stepmoms are
It's
like a
everywhere.
big thing. Yeah, like that's really hot right now.
Yeah.
And like I fit that age to be a stepmom.
Yeah.
But then like there's also the clown thing. Like there are 3 men I know in my life. They're like, you unlocked something. Suddenly, like, they're like, well,
Yeah.
what was it? New fetish unlocked.
Well, then I had that happen with one
and
of
then
my...
the big titty goth girl. Big titty goth girl's a thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself goth. Like if I had to make something up, it'd be like emoth. Days like
Emoth sounds like a new NFT.
See, and I don't know.
Emoth sounds like something Elon Musk is going to try to buy next.
I see, and I purposely don't pay attention to what's going on in the world. Like I'm very far removed from it on purpose.
Yeah.
And
Unless it's related to cup noodles or...
all right, yeah, which stocks are down. Oh, we can go back to the origin of the
Yeah,
hat.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
let's do
back
that.
in 2014, I decided to, and at the time I was a makeup artist.
Yeah.
I was off work for Halloween, and Halloween's like my Christmas. Like it's the only holiday I really give a shit about. I'm not like anti-Christmas and I'm a bah humbug. I just tolerate it till it
Yeah.
passes, and I'll participate in some shit. But like I'm like, I don't care. I don't get excited. But Halloween's like my shit, and I'll do like 8 costumes like a month. Like I love to dress up like other comics as well, which is fun. I've done that a few times. I like to make things like I said.
Would
I
you
like
dress up as me?
absolutely. I'll be a slutty clown. You.
Oh, that'd be great. I
Yeah, I
want to see
love-
those photos. We have to go back to your photos soon, too.
I mean, in all honesty, if you really like this show, Unloading Meat, you will reach out to your favorite DoorDash or Uber Eats company and tell them to sponsor the show. Because it's kind of like a Mr. B situation where I spend so much fucking money on food being a fat ass that if they were to sponsor the show, somehow that money would go directly back into the show in a weird way. So, yeah, get us a sponsorship. Now back to the show.
May need to find that picture of my first like full clowning. And I was like, I gotta get.
I'm sorry, I have to react to my first full clowning.
Clowning is a lifestyle.
I'm not disparaging.
Yes.
It's just I'm used. It's kind of like whenever the trans thing came out, and you're trying to get used to the pronouns and everything.
Yes.
I'm not.
Coming out of the closet as a clown
Yeah,
does stuff.
like I came out of the closet as bi,
Right.
and yeah, you got me trumped with clown. Like, well, technically I didn't come out as bi. I came out. So we got in a fight, an argument, and then I am bi, but this is how fucked up it is. I shouted, "Well, what if I was gay?" Because gay just sounds better than bi. Like nobody respects bisexual at all.
No.
It's
No.
like pick a side, motherfuckers. And like I can't because I love both. Like
But you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm
What?
not gonna make up a fake term and try to put myself in the LGBT
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Because I hate that shit.
LGBTQ.
Right. Like
The C would be not cunt, clown. Yeah.
no, my attraction. I should have brought my clown horn. God damn it. I can't find my clown horn. That
Actually,
sucks.
I've never done that, but that's pretty close, right? That sounds like my bed when I'm getting fucked.
So like, oh my gosh, I love all the different directions this
I know.
this conversation.
That's
is
why, like, when
going.
people are like, "What's the show about?" I'm like, "Whatever we want it to be."
It's just shit talking for
So
an hour.
the ultimate goal, like I was getting back to that. Before I got on the scene with the stand up and open mic and stuff like that, and started meeting people, meeting you at that. We met at the bar, right?
Yeah, at Colony.
The Colony, yeah, because there was a show there. Was it your show? No, it was friend show.
No,
Friend show.
Conrad.
Conrad.
He's like, I call myself the second funniest comic without eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
has none.
Alopecia.
Yeah.
Shout out to alopecia.
We'll put on a gif of like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock for fucking his
She's
wife's.
not even real. She doesn't even have the real alopecia.
I know.
That's the funniest thing. She has like anyway. we
She's
won't
just
go into
Al.
that. Yeah.
Al piece of shit.
I
That's gonna be a T-shirt.
should be.
Yeah. Will Smith will
Um,
slap it off me. Still okay. I don't care about Bad
No,
Boys
but I
4.
was in clown. I was in full clown the night I met you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was high as fuck.
And you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
like,
But no, like
and I also kind of look homeless. Like, all
no,
the
honestly,
time.
I'm glad it happened. So again,
Yeah.
shout out to Roscoe. He
Yeah.
invited me out.
Yeah.
I didn't know shit. So if you remember at the bar, we were sitting outside on the patio, and I just had my back on the brick. I didn't know fucking anybody. I was Silent Bob just sitting against the wall. That night changed my life because it honestly changed the point of view of the podcast because I didn't know anybody, and I was like anxiety kind of going out of control, real talk. I was smoking a lot, didn't know shit, and he invited me, and then like he was hanging out with people and stuff.
Mhm.
Then he goes, and he puts his arm around me, and he goes and brings me to you and everybody else. He goes, "This is Jared. He did stand-up tonight. Very funny." And he proceeded to do that and wave me around everybody in the bar and do that one by one. He didn't have to do that.
No.
But
That's our community though. That's
Exactly.
the community of artists is like, and being that I have the pleasure of not only doing, because it started with stand up. My favorite comic of all time and my top influence is Gary Goldman.
really?
Yes, Gary Goldman is my Beyonce.
Okay.
You hate him too, don't
No,
you?
I love Gary Goldman. It's just I'm thinking of a comedy special because my all-time favorite is David Tell.
I love Dave.
So they did a show. It was like him. I think it was Gary Goldman, Dane Cook. They had a movie out.
Tourgasm.
Tourgasm. Yeah, that was it.
Mhm.
Um,
That's how I got into him. Like I watched that just for Gary because
Really?
I wasn't a Dane Cook fan.
I wasn't much of a Dane.
I think he has good delivery.
Everybody had a phase where Dane Cook was great, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's cool," and then it kind of like
Oh, he has
Nickelback-
bits that I find funny.
Yeah, it's kind of like Nickelback where it got overplayed,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then Rockstar came out, and you're like, "Fuck that guy."
Right.
And then also Dane is also pretty real guy. I don't know if you've seen him like lately. Like
Mhm.
he had some fucked up shit. He lost all his money. Like his brother, Dane Cook. Dane Cook,
Oh.
I had I gained a lot of respect for him because like after everything blew, he kind of fell out of the limelight and stuff.
Mhm.
His brother or a family member, I don't want to misspeak, but was his financial manager. It basically robbed him blind,
Oh, that's terrible.
and he was fucking
Well, that
broke.
shows you how unpredictable this shit is.
Yeah.
Comedy's. Yeah, it's
But it also
comedy's one of the weirdest things I've ever done because it's like what a weird ass thing that
Yeah.
like I'm bearing my soul, and like
hopefully you
doing,
laugh.
right.
Yeah.
And like also like
Guy in the corner. Like, yeah. Did you have a comment you want to say? Oh, never.
but like
Fucking Edgar Allan Poe over there. Nevermore.
but like I
That's
like
a goth joke. That's a goth joke. Yes, I know fucking one thing of Edgar Allan Poe.
fortunately and unfortunately have somewhat of a, I wouldn't say reputation, but I've made 2 hecklers cry. I've
Elaborate. I have
And
to
they-
know this story. I
right.
just have to.
and they were both women. So because a
Oh.
lot of people, there's some people
Wi-
in the comedy scene.
Women hecklers.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Drunk. Okay.
obviously.
Okay.
It always is, and that's what's so frustrating. It's
Yeah.
like, God damn it! Like you're not
You
gonna
never get
remember
high
this
hecklers.
tomorrow.
High hecklers. High people. Yeah. Guy in the corner announces. Yeah. Or
Mhm.
agrees. High hecklers. There's no such thing as they're just chill. They're just there to enjoy themselves and laugh.
Because it's like, do you go to the like? It's really frustrating because how do I put it? It's like what people don't see is like the stuff that goes into. You just see a few minutes on stage.
Yeah.
We're writing shit. We're editing shit. We're trying shit out in conversations. That's how I did a lot of my writing. Was
Yeah.
like trying shit on on other people.
And then recording yourself and hearing how you sound back and stuff like that's what I do a lot.
Right. And I stopped recording about a few months ago just because it's not. It was really important in the beginning. Like
Yeah.
it really helped me. Like people said, record your shit, and like yeah, and like early on, like I wanted to. I did this thing when I started where I was like, I have to prove that I'm smart. It was this weird obsession that I had. I was like, I have to prove to people that I'm smart because like I knew that. And I don't want to play the woman card, but as a female comic, there's shit I was not prepared for.
Yeah.
That I dealt with of like I knew it was going to be hard, and like no matter what you are, like start doing stand-ups, like it's hard.
Yeah.
And then sometimes but it got to a point where it's not hard for me now. And again, it's
And like nobody's gonna know what you went through or anything like that. Everybody is an individual journey, but yeah, especially I could totally
Oh, it's
empathize
obnoxious.
with
One of
fucking
the
women
most,
comics, like female comics. Like God
and
damn,
I've said this a lot of times.
it's a fucking sausage fest. Like,
Yeah.
and it's a bro fest.
Right.
Not that I'm mansplaining to you.
I
That
mean,
really sounded like mansplaining. I'm really trying not to,
No, I
guys.
know.
She's over here like, that was hard for female comics. I'm like, yeah, female comics have it hard, don't you know? Do you know that female comics are like an endangered species?
You have feminine energy, so you're allowed to say.
Well, it's
that.
all the dick I suck.
But what was that?
The Pornhub theme song
Oh,
or the intro song.
I don't watch porn, and I feel like I'm not against porn, but like I've watched it, but it makes me so uncomfortable. I think it's because like I'm one of those people. I'm hyper aware that every person is a human being. Does that make sense?
Yeah, me and Lynn Kay talked yesterday about porn bloopers. Or 2 days.
I would watch that.
Oh, go on Reddit. There's a whole subreddit just called porn bloopers. It's hilarious. You'll see dudes like pull out and accidentally come on the cameraman's face and stuff like that. It is the funniest shit. It is, and like
I feel like
it's like watching SNL and everybody break. And my ultimate goal, we talked about like the Tulsa comedy scene.
yeah.
That night changed my life when Roscoe took me out and introduced me to everybody. And I saw the burlesque, I saw the live music, I saw the comedy.
I love this because that was the perfect night for you to come out.
It was.
It really, I think, like, I don't know. I'm one of those people, I don't believe everything happens for a reason. I think that's horseshit.
Yeah.
I do think you can take something bad or a situation and make it good,
Yeah.
or turn it a different direction. But I want to believe there's little
I want to believe
divine
if you put out
moments.
good energy, good things are going to happen.
Right. And I do think there's like,
Karma's a bitch. I feel that way. That's about what I
Absolutely.
feel.
absolutely.
And if you put out good vibes, good energy,
Mhm.
eventually people will connect with that.
Mhm.
That's my ultimate.
I think
goal.
you know when you have moments like that, when you have like, oh, that night changed my life. When you have
Yeah.
like, it was like the first time I came home from my first open mic because I did really well on my first open mic.
Yeah.
And which was a blessing and a curse. But I prepared for so long. I was actively writing for
Yeah.
like a couple years and
Yeah.
planning and then I was like, all right, I'm ready because I watched Gary Goldman's The Great Depression, which is a great special of his, and he talked about some really heavy shit. And that's where I was like, all right, let's do this. I got to rip the Band-Aid. I'm going to say this right now. Hot take. I think people who use their children for clout or for reality shit or for their TikToks
Oh,
or
yeah.
for like exploiting your children for views and
Yeah.
shit is disgusting.
Yeah, like you're
It's
not gonna see my kids
absolute-
on here. Like,
yeah,
like
that's good. Like I think that's disgusting.
Uh,
Unless like they're older teenagers and want to do that shit. Like fucking great. Like, hey, mom and I
Yeah.
mom and I would do a TikTok together. Like fucking fine.
you want to know something fascinating though?
Huh.
Having my 6-year-old. That's what my kid's obsessed with watching, like Ryan's World and all those little things.
You know, that shit makes me so bitter.
Yeah.
The dumb shit that people get paid for.
But like the viewers of that shit are my kids. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is like, unfortunately, they're the ones that are watching this shit.
Uh-huh.
They love it because it's like they're interacting
Mhm.
with other kids their age, and those kids are like having a happy family, going on adventures, and
Mhm.
it's like fucking Airbnb house. It's not actually their house because they're filming in it.
Mhm.
And then
And that's the thing is like everything's so scripted, and that's
Yes.
why like I don't do TikTok. I hate it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen funny things on TikTok or some profound things or some. I think everybody deserves to have a voice, and I think
Yeah.
everybody deserves their they deserve to have a chance to pursue something they're interested in.
Yeah.
Okay, like karaoke.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, like I enjoy singing, and I think I'm decent. You know, depending on the song, but like I mean, my best friend and roommate. And she's like my hetero life mate too.
shout out to hetero life mates.
I
I have a hetero life mate. He's my roommate.
that's
It,
awesome.
it works great.
I love it.
After my divorce, he moved in,
Mhm.
helped with the bills, and it helps.
Awesome.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
one of the things where like, but it's funny because like now that I'm out, everybody thinks that he's my partner.
Oh yeah. Oh, her and I have been confused as partners forever, and like it's like no, we would have been out already.
Yeah.
Like I'd be showing her off. Okay. Like fuck. But she's a singer. Okay, she does opera. She sings for. Oh, she's the reason I saw Barry Manilow. Like because
Oh.
she was in the choir for when Barry Manilow was in Tulsa, so she
Mhm.
got some free tickets. So I went with her
Nice.
family, and I was just like,
That's
oh,
probably
this-
what the show my mom was at because my mom goes to almost every Barry Manilow in Tulsa.
yeah, and like I was just like, oh, this will be fun, to see Jay, and like I really thoroughly enjoyed the
Was it the Hard
show.
Rock?
No,
Oh,
it was at BOK.
Oh, be okay. Okay.
He's an excellent performer. Like, holy
I bet.
shit.
But
Yeah. Anyway, the point was like she's a singer and she makes money off of it with some gigs, and like it would be quite silly for me to go to one of her auditions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not on that level and I know my place.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm garbage at improv. All right, garbage. I tried. I'm not clever. Like, and I'm also too literal. Again, like I haven't gotten some of your jokes, and I'm just
Well, my problem is
blanking
like
at
I
you.
have to manage my anxiety with my weed intake,
yeah.
and that also fucks with my creativity of
Yeah.
snappiness. It's like I would love to do the roast battles in Tulsa, and I actually plan on
Mhm.
doing one. Lynn
Yeah.
K's kind of talking me into it.
Mhm.
I've
enjoyed doing it more as a clown
Yeah.
than I did it as Missy.
Well, everybody has
I had
their
a-
own
yeah,
armor,
I
but
have
they
a
have to
sh-
get up there. On
Yeah,
stuff.
and I have a shtick, and like I would use like the paper
Yeah.
to. I just wanted to be. My goal was to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's always my goal with shit. Like I want people to like, whether it's my drag. Oh, and I guess I should talk more about gender fuck drag.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, oops. I should be taking notes. Anyway, so gender fuck. So that's like I just kind of play with both genders. So that's
what we're seeing right now, guys.
yeah. So that was that was from a Broadway night at a drag show. And I think that was Be Italian from the musical 9.
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by a famous game like Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends. I've never played it, but boy, if they sponsor this show, I might give it a try. Hopefully. It really depends, Stefano, on what the contract says, like how long I have to play it. I've heard good things. Have you heard good things? Nobody cares about your opinion. Anyway, if you are sick of these fake ads, make sure that you reach out to people like Raid Shadow Legends and tell them to sponsor the show Unloading Meat, and they'll be replaced soon. Anyway, back to the show.
All that stuff you
So they can
just
see that. This is what we're seeing, guys. It's an awesome shot.
I-
Shout out to Rick.
yeah.
And
No,
Rick,
I
if you'd
love
ever
it.
want to be on, I'd love to have photographers on here
Oh,
too.
he's the best. He's has the best laugh, and he's really well loved in the Tulsa comedy community. And
That's why I wanted you on, because it's not
Yeah.
just about comedians here. Like you saw when my friends AJ was on here for my first
yeah,
episode.
yeah,
I have comedians coming in here.
Mhm.
Like I said, that night changed my life,
yeah.
and I changed the direction of the show. My
Mhm.
direction of the show is let's make this a hub for Tulsa.
Mhm.
Let's just get every oddity in the Tulsa nightlife, and
Mhm.
let's give them a place to just be themselves.
Mhm.
And I want
And
to
that's
talk to
what
them.
right, and that's what Blaze Burlesque is for me. And I'll definitely come bring people back because it's the closest I've ever gotten to joining the circus. That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
do. And like honestly, going back to the Judy Garland thing, I just wanted to perform. I didn't know how. I didn't know what medium. Like I thought I wanted to be an actress. I at one point thought about being a filmmaker.
That was what I was getting at. I wanted to also say
Yeah.
thank you that night.
You're welcome.
Because that was the night that, like I said, everything changed. But also, it was like that was the first night I had gone on stand up, and I like did buy jokes and stuff for the first time and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So like that was me presenting myself to everybody, and then Roscoe did his thing, introduced me to
Mhm.
everybody. I met you,
Mhm.
Not that anything happened bad that night. I just don't remember that I met you. It's a repressed memory, I guess. It's one of those things that got jogged.
It
What
gets
that part
forgotten a
out.
lot.
Yeah, he didn't
Man
rate me,
in the
guys. He's
corner.
not the one he'd rate me. That was 13 or 12. Not times. That was the age.
Oh Jesus.
But like, yeah, it changed my direction of comedy because like I want to make sure that like I felt fully just like embraced and just happy at the
Yeah.
colony. Like I just
Yeah.
felt at home. Like I was just like,
Yeah, that
This
was
is
one of
my
the most.
people.
Yeah, it was a very content night for me as well.
it just felt great,
Absolutely,
and like
yeah.
my guard was down. I could just be
Yeah.
myself, and I just
Isn't
like
that
felt at home.
insane?
Yeah,
Yeah, and when you find that later in life, blows my fucking mind. I
Yeah.
never thought I'd find people like you.
dude, it took
I never thought people like y'all existed.
it took me
It's insane.
2 marriages,
Yeah.
2 divorces,
Mhm.
2 suicide attempts, 2 fucking coming out and dealing with all that shit before I finally found my people.
Huge influence of mine.
We were talking about
and his
the-
storytelling.
we were talking about the last Bowie album, how I can't. It's sad for me to listen to it.
Oh yeah, and
Just
especially
finish
like
Bark. But
yeah.
Norm's last special. Did you watch it?
I haven't finished it
I haven't either.
because I can't emotionally.
Exactly.
I can't. I can't.
That's why I brought it up.
Right now.
It's exactly like how I feel about the Bowie album. It
Mm-hmm.
literally brings me tears to my eyes, and I can't even laugh at Norm's stuff because I feel so sad. Because Norm was such an influence on me.
Yeah, same.
The shit that he did with NBC about the OJ stuff and the balls that he had to stand up to fucking NBC and lost his fucking job
Mhm.
over it. He was the fucking anchor of SNL Weekend Update and got fired because he refused to stop doing.
And that's
O.J.
when I
Simpson
started
jokes.
watching SNL was when Norm Macdonald was on there, and I loved him. And like,
Do you
I
know
remember,
this? Did you know that guy in the corner? The boss of NBC of NBC.
Oh, NBC. Oh,
He was friends with
God.
OJ during the OJ Simpson trial and all that shit. And Norm was the anchor of Weekend Update on SNL, and he was making OJ Simpson jokes. And his best friend, the guy at NBC, who allegedly, so I don't get sued, was like telling Lorne, knock that shit off. And he told Norm specifically, you're gonna get fired if you keep doing those. And he just kept doing them live. Like it wouldn't be in the script. He was just like, fuck you, I'm gonna just make this joke. And he got fired and lost his position, and like it fucked his career for years. Because he did Dirty Work. Like that's why Adam Sandler got in that
I
movie
love
Dirty Work.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like all the SNL people were like, what the fuck? And even Lauren was like, my hands are tied. I can't do this. I couldn't keep him. So yeah, it fucked his career for a while. And like, I always have respect for him because he was like, no, this is the joke. This is what America wants to hear. Everybody's making fun of O.J. Simpson. Why can't we, the comedy show, do it?
But Norm,
and also Norm, everything on like when he did do like Conan and stuff like that. Norm on any kind of late night was just my favorite.
like so it says the guy says like I remember like one of my favorite Norm Macdonald moments was when he was on The View, and he's just like they're talking about the election, and Barbara Walters is she's like, now you're a Canadian, you know, what do you think of all this? And he was like, well, I don't think we need to have like a murder like in the White House. And they're like, what? And he's just like, Bill Clinton killed a guy, and it's like
So uncomfortable.
and I love uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like when
And that's-
Kanye West said like George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yeah.
Like that on
Oh my
live TV.
gosh.
That was
And
the funniest.
poor Mike Myers, like
and Chris Tucker. Everybody forgets about
Yes.
Chris Tucker.
yes,
You
and him
remember
just
that?
looking shocked and
They,
like
they cut from Mike Myers like
For-
to Chris Tucker live on
Like-
location, and Chris is like, I wasn't ready either. He's just like. So anyway, if you
Oh
would
my
like
God,
to
I love
donate
shit
for
like that.
Hurricane Katrina, my thing with Norm was Norm had a hidden track, and like Norm's thing was he would lean in on stuff that was intentionally not funny.
mhm.
Like the delivery was so bad intentionally, and he would just give a look, or the pause was more funny than what he was delivering because you're just like, that wasn't funny,
Mhm.
but it puts you in a peculiar like, huh? And that
Yes.
was where he worked.
Mhm.
Was just that, huh? And I think that's where you capitalize too. I
Absolutely.
see
And
it.
that's where when I started, I got really frustrated because I would make long bits. Like I have a whole 8-minute thing just about baby names, and it includes a couple stories and like that. But then I would get so frustrated because you only get 5 minutes at open mics.
Yeah.
So that was always frustrating. But no, but like whether it's like my drag, like, and I made that wig, so I made that headpiece out of a dollar store bag, some duct tape, some electrical tape. And that's my whole point, like with this, like and I did what was that?
That was an anime princess that's saying, wow.
Oh. Wow. But like this one's particularly I decided to
I actually don't know what all these buttons are. I know some of them,
oh really?
but I didn't program this part.
And you can't see it in here, but I am wearing clown shoes.
Ooh.
Because like
yeah.
I do dance and stuff in clown shoes.
Different from the ones you have on now, or
No, it's the same ones.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So like again, I can almost
So now they can see.
yes. I can almost do the
I don't even know what this button does. What does this button do?
Oh no!
oh, the timing.
Oh my god!
Oh, the timing.
Oh my god!
How I do my drag and draglesque, which draglesque, like I said, is you're doing drag lip syncing and also like removing items
Yeah.
of clothing. And mine's more silly. And I kind of like to mix silly, like stupid and like airheady, uncomfortable, like I just like to combine a bunch of like I just want people to be like, what is that? I want to be someone that like no one's really seen before. And the thing is, it's kind of hard to be completely original because we're all influenced by
Yeah.
shit. Like it's like someone like a friend of mine saw me do drag and she was like, I just felt really like I could feel the Judy Garland off of you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank you. Like well, yeah,
That's
like
a compliment, yeah.
yeah, like because I like there's a lot of Tim Curry in me.
I know.
That one I'm not ready for when
I
he
know.
goes like he's like people aren't going to see me for a week.
I still
like,
make my
when Tim-
kids watch The Wild Thornberries because he was Nigel Thornberry.
Mm-hmm. I love him so
And his
much.
voice is just so great.
We want to go through the pictures
Oh, we can do that.
first, and then
So-
like okay, so here's Slutty Trump, which is one of my favorite
Oh my
characters.
God.
It was like comedy lip sync
Wow,
battle.
I am loving Slutty Trump.
And I did it. I sung it to from
Why
Hamilton.
is Slutty Trump doing things for me?
That's part of it. I love to confuse people with it. I was like, I want people to get sexually confused with me dressed as Trump, and I'm doing it next with Governor Stitt. I'm going to be.
I gotta be
Slutty Stitt
careful on
soon.
camera right now because right now on camera, this is totally like a Crystalia Snapchat moment.
I don't know who that is.
Some kind of show on NBC, but he had a huge career and he was launching. He was grooming girls on Snapchat, and he was on a podcast, and live on the podcast, they're teaching him how Snapchat works. They're like, yeah, you can just screenshot that shit and stuff, or you can like, bring that stuff back. And he goes, oh, but Snapchat's not permanent, right? And they're like, no, you can bring that back. And live on air, you see him like do the mental math, like, oh fuck, like just this aha moment. I'm fucked, and it just caught on air. Nobody knew it, and then when the accusations came out, somebody found that on the podcast, and it went viral. Like, this is the moment he knew he had fucked up.
That backpedaling. Why would you do that with a
This is the best one.
Snapchat goes away, right? How they?
He probably saved it. You can screen record, take screenshots.
That's
It's
beautiful.
so perfect.
Beautiful.
But yeah, that reaction is just live on camera. You see him the moment he knows he's fucked.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that.
and hey, fellow hipsters and people that have culture or something. I'm Jared Ralphie Allen, host of Unloading Meat, and we need sponsors for this show. If you identify with this fucked up hat I'm wearing, these shitty tattoos, or any other cultural references that are behind me, reach out to your favorite sponsors and tell them to sponsor the show Unloading Meat. Now, back to acting like I wasn't impressed by anything. I wish this podcast could be on vinyl. And I'm never gonna say like cancel or censor anybody, because fuck canceling people, because it doesn't work. It's always temporary.
No.
Canceling doesn't work. Fucking any younger generation than us, it doesn't fucking work. Everything is a wave. Look at Mel Gibson. That dude had some cops and was saying anti-Semitic shit, anti-female cop shit, like everything. Fucking David Hasselhoff with the burger. Like, and his daughter.
I remember that drunk Hasselhoff in the burger.
Alec Baldwin before he shot that lady.
He yelled at his daughter.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin didn't get canceled for that, but now he's getting charges against him. Did you guys see that? He was a producer on the film, and the gun.
I know the story.
The gun had a animal and it shot the cinematographer, and unfortunately she died.
Yeah.
I am very sorry. Yeah, that's a very tragic story. And I know that as a production standpoint and something like that, somebody should be financially responsible and stuff and help with the widow and stuff like that. And make sure that stays taken care of. And I'm sure that's happening. As far as criminal charges on Alec Baldwin personally shooting the person and charging him for manslaughter, when he is an actor on scene with a prop gun, I don't feel how he could ever know that he was actively killing or shooting somebody. And there was never a situation where that was even a case where that could be possible. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, manslaughter kind of, in my opinion, just my sole opinion, that's a little iffy.
I'm part Italian, so like I'm French and Italian, and like I never had a chance with hair. What the fuck is this? What? Oh, Mama Meatballs.
The cuck in the corner just got me to break so hard.
Because that's one of our inside jokes is Mama Meatballs. And he just went.
He just did that off camera, and I just fucking lost it. Wasn't expecting.
Oh, I love Jonathan.
I know.
My God.
I feel so bad that their new movie sucks. The Cabin in the Woods or whatever.
Oh, it sucks. Have you seen it already?
It got a bad.
Or like Knock on the Door.
Knock on the Woods or
Knock on the Door. The new M. Night movie.
Yeah.
See, I actually like M. Night Shyamalan, and
I
like
like
even
some.
I like some of it, but even the ones that are sucky, like I find things I like about them. But also, I love Signs.
I think
Signs is a fun movie for me. Okay, so that's not going to be in like my best films.
Yeah.
It's not going to be up there with There Will Be Blood.
Okay, so I agree with that. Certain
And
movies
Dark
are just
Knight.
great to have watching or just fun
Or like,
movies.
okay, Boondock Saints isn't a good example. I love Boondock Saints. It's terrible. It's horribly acted.
You want to know?
Willem Dafoe is fucking great in everything.
Yes.
You know, but
A guilty pleasure of mine, which is so off topic and weird, is the live action Speed Racer movie.
I've never seen it.
If you get high, it is like
I'm sure it's very pretty.
visually. It is so
Very
bright.
visually
It is like an anime come live action for 2 hours, and it has John Goodman in it, and it has a whole bunch of
John
Susan
Goodman's
Sarandon is in it.
amazing. That's awesome.
But it is visually just beautiful. It's made by the Wachowskis. The women now, because they both. That's an
They
unusual
both
story.
transitioned?
Yes, the Wachowski
I knew one
brother-
did.
The Wachowski brothers both transitioned. Now they're now Lana and I can't remember the other ones. Wachowski.
I knew one of them did. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they both
Wow.
did.
Interesting.
But anyway, they did Speed Racer and it tanked. It bombed, and it honestly the script sucked. But it's just visually,
Right.
it's just like, yeah, I'm watching the old 70s cartoon for 2 hours. That's basically what they got.
Right.
But anyway, it's one of my guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
It's
Same with
just-
Signs. I love watching Signs, and I'll just put it on. And
I think M. Night Shyamalan is one of the masters of building tension.
Mhm.
Like just dramatic
I
tension.
love
and scary.
I love the Glass series.
Yes.
Like I love the Unbreakable series.
I just don't think
love it.
M. Night tends to have a lot of great time wrapping up a third act.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah,
like
and
he
then
has
it
a
gets
great
kinda crazy,
idea,
yeah.
and it just builds tension and it's great, but then something falls where it's like it could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's my problem with him. And then
Yeah.
he made the Airbender movie, and I'll never forgive him for that.
You know.
Don't.
Well, I don't watch Airbender, but like I know that y'all have to pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's fucking it's
Yeah.
put it this way, there's compilations of like bad acting and
Mhm.
just like with a joke track, and they just use that movie. Like you just put a laugh track behind it and it's like it's hilarious. Even
It's
the
like me, like I pretend like Wicked doesn't exist. I'm obsessed with Wizard of Oz and the story, but like to me, it's a glorified, like, very unpopular opinion. It's like a glorified fan fiction. Okay, what's a story that's like really, really important to you? Because Wizard of Oz is such an important story, especially the Tin Man. Like I love the Tin Man.
story that's important to me.
Like whether it's Spider-Man or like is there any that's like
That's on the... Okay, so do you know who Nightcrawler is?
yes. Yeah.
Nightcrawler is my favorite X-Man.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
Nightcrawler looks like a demon.
Mhm.
It is the most devout Catholic besides Daredevil.
That's right. That's right.
And everybody wants to murder him and calls him a demon and treats him like bullshit just because of the way he looks.
Mhm.
And he is the most devout Christian Catholic you'll ever. I always found that so appealing because X-Men is a very good allegory for gays and stuff like that, or any.
Oh, it was
marginalized-
it was comfortable for me.
Yeah.
X-Men, like Wolverine is a big character for me too.
Yeah.
Like I love Wolverine.
Last year I did a one open mic and Katie Styles was opening or doing the hosting. Katie Styles.
Yeah.
That was my first time even trying it because I had done. It had been 14 years since I did an open mic.
Mhm.
Originally 15 years ago now, I did an open mic and I had a friend. I'm not gonna say his name. He's not a friend anymore.
Mhm.
But I went there and I did 2 shows. First one I did good. Second
Mhm.
one I did a joke and he said, they didn't like your material. They don't want you back. And I was so devastated. I came to find out that they didn't say that. It was my friend that said that. That's what I found out
That's
years
gross.
later.
That's so gross.
But it devastated me and I stopped comedy for 14 years.
I would too.
So,
Well, I think it's more like we're naturally rebellious.
yes.
And you're telling us not to do shit. Like I get more respect as a genderfuck clown than I do as a female comic, and that's an absolute. That I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Just like how I didn't know I'd be doing this burlesque shit. I didn't know I'd be
You kind
doing
of
the
fall
drag
into it.
shit.
It's,
Yes,
it's an
and it's
evolution.
like-
It's an
but
iteration.
it's-
Iteration is my favorite thing in this. What I say in comedy.
And the thing is, like, and the cuck in the corner can agree because we're very, like, he was one of the first friends I made when we started, and he's seen me do my comedy and he's seen how that's progressed. And like when I started going, part of why I was obsessed with learning psychology and learning human behavior, I was obsessed with that because like I was bullied as a kid, or I was like you know, that weird kid who read in the corner, and like I had a few friends. I have a couple of childhood friends I still have, but I was a very lonely child. It's like
Nothing's black and white. Everybody.
Exactly. And like I've made amazing friendships. Like, okay, my hetero life mate, we met because of a Catholic retreat.
Yeah.
She's still practicing. She still comes to my shows, not all of them. You know, does she like all of my humor about the Catholic Church? No, she doesn't. She actually doesn't hear a lot of it. But she still supports my shit. My dad's Catholic.
My hetero life mate,
Mhm.
who's is straight as a fucking arrow,
Mhm.
is I'm not sure what denomination, but he's Christian.
Okay.
But like
We have some Christian comics.
Yeah.
Like most of us are like heathens, but like
I find honestly Christian comics, they're the ones that can take the joke the most. Most of the time. If you're gonna make a Christian joke or something like that, they're expecting it because they are a Christian comic. So if you're gonna roast them or something like that, they're prepared. I honestly feel a lot of times I've interacted with Christian comics. It's usually
I don't
like
think I've had enough of.
it's just like if you do a joke on it and it's good,
Mhm.
they laugh. They're gonna laugh. Laughter is just you can't. If you try to fight laughter, it's gonna make it even funnier.
Mhm.
So like if you can do a good Christian zinger, they're gonna appreciate just the community.
That's like when I do a good rape joke. Like rape's not funny at all. We fucking know that.
Yeah.
We fucking know.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm saying like maybe there's another comic who's been through assault and they don't want to make jokes about it on stage.
Yes.
Like, I get that. There's some shit I will never talk about on stage because I'm like, this just makes me.
You don't
feel
know what's
icky.
a trigger for everybody, but you also can't.
We can't tiptoe around everybody's
Everything is not a trigger.
Yeah, no, you have to. The thing is about triggers.
And also, are you triggered or are you just saying you're triggered? The false outrage of, well, I have a friend who happens to be black and gay, and so I'm offended that you mentioned that you had a black gay person in your joke. Doesn't matter if it was bad or the joke was making the benefit of them, because you mentioned them and I also know somebody, now I'm saying I'm offended. And I say bullshit on that, because if that's how you live, go get hit by a fucking train.
It's like Bill Maher said, like, you can't be
Bill
more
Maher.
you can't be more hurt than the victim.
Exactly.
And it's true. And when I'm not in clown, when I'm in like my normal comedian getup, like I look like one of those bitches. Like I look like one of those triggered feminazis, and it's a little tag I use in my comedy of like, I look like the type of person that's gonna yell at you about the meat industry or get offended on behalf of.
Hey, be careful with the meat.
With the
I'm trying to get
or get more offended, or get offended because of my, black friend or Asian friend. Like, it's just it's quite silly. It's quite silly.
Let's see. Oh,
Okay, so this is Slutty Pennywise. More clothing and like a little girly Pennywise dress, and I have this weird ability to make it. I can move my body in a way to where it looks like I'm hanging.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's crazy to look at this because we've grown so much. Like, it's insane. Like, this was our circus theme show. And I did stand up for this one. So I did stand up, and I also made naughty balloon animals, which.
Is that you right there?
That's me right there with
Okay.
the little cup noodles. Yeah. Am I allowed to make you like naughty balloon animals?
Yeah, we can do that.
And we're back.
We're back. See, right there, and it's just like a perfect bit.
Yes. So yeah. But yeah, so our burlesque troupe, we have aerial artists, we have musicians, we have fire eaters, we have so many fucking talented ass people, and all different types, all different. Like, it's a really good diverse group. But
I'm just thinking of Austin Powers and his fucking penis pump right now. That's all that comes to mind right now. Is just a fucking penis pump. Oh God. See if you can tilt it like back over your head a little bit. So I can't.
Oh my gosh! Hold up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna.
God damn it, we're so. Fucking pinheads. Where is that pin?
This is me normal. The troupe, they're amazing. We've grown. Beautiful, beautiful people, and I hope to bring some of them back for a future episode.
As far as everybody in that photo, are they still all active in it, or is it...
There's some core so I'm one of the I was in a few shows, and then I was asked to be a permanent member like before this last show. So that means like you can kind of get, and of course not everybody's available for every show, but then we have guests, we have visiting people. Like that band is like, and they're called and then there were two. They'd be good to have on the show. Yeah. And they're
what's their name?
And then there were two, but their alter ego is Lady Vulu and like the Ne'er-do-wells, and that's their band. They were there that night.
Really? Okay.
At Colony, actually.
Okay,
so they were the other people who performed besides Conrad. I do the whole vaudeville thing, which there's like vaudevillians and like circus people, like from my lineage. We found out like when I was in my 20s, I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense, and like have a whole bit about like wanting to like learning to sword swallow or wanting to learn sword swallow or teaching myself, fire breathing.
I can see what you're making already. And
yes. Do you have a black Sharpie? I got paid so much for making naughty balloon animals at this burlesque show, by the way. Some man handed me a 20 for this because he said I made him and his wife so happy. Modeled by our kittens. Kittens are kind of like the stage hands at burlesque shows.
Okay.
And the lovely woman with red hair, name's Christina.
I think we'll be okay because they are blue animals.
You know who Mad Dog is?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's like a Tulsa staple. He sells roses to people, and like he's really well loved by the community.
When you're ready to unveil it, we will.
Okay.
Right now, it's just me and my glorious
here we go.
chins. Okay, here we go, guys. Look at her.
and I signed it for you. I signed it.
Thank you so much for the gift.
Yes. Oh no, I have another one for you. I'm making another one. Oh, isn't it beautiful? I worked so hard teaching myself how to make. Like I learned these because I can't make. Oh, okay. So this was the second act from the show from last month. This you would have loved this piece. Like I started out in a white coat and had my hair covered, and I had like a little lamb ears, like sheep ears. Basically, like I was a wolf in sheep's clothing. So I went from the Betty Boop clown to this. So I started out as the Betty Boop clown in Act 1, and I was in Act 3. And of course, it reveals that I'm wearing a priest collar. So I don't know if you can see it. So I'm a priest.
I vaguely see. Yeah,
and
I wanted,
I wanted to go for. It was definitely a more masculine. Like I revealed to have like stigmata, like bloody, like stigmata, like glittery on my hands. Yeah, and like I had like I was supposed to have like hair on the back of my hands and like, but it turned out how it needed to.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a fun one. That was from the last show. So I'm back there with my hand up, like wearing the same gloves actually. And like we have, so we had a drag queen, and that's the band again. There were a bunch of bunnies. And it's really diverse. We love our troupe because it's so diverse. We have different genders, different, everybody on the LGBT spectrum. We have a little bit of everybody.
I was wondering what spectrum you were about to bring up. I was like, oh, okay.
No, we have a lot of autistic people on here too. Absolutely. And ADHD. We all have ADHD. It's a blessing and a curse.
But looking at this photo, I get it.
Yeah, no, but I love
that was obvious.
Yeah, I love these motherfuckers. Like
it's like when you go to open mics, and you're like, yeah, I can tell that a few of us are on the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
It's just absolutely. You're gonna know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here's the pussy, by the way. Hold up.
Oh wow.
And I put a clit on it, but I messed up. Like it's kind of.
That's why we can't ever find it.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like
it's not our fault. So she just proved it, guys.
It's a blue waffle pussy. I want at least one gag. If I can make people like smile, laugh, gag a little, or pee their pants a little,
now
it's been a good day.
You were asking for blue or green.
Yes.
Yes. Blue or green pussies are just nasty.
No, but my whole thing with my draglesque is like I wanted to do what I wanted to see on stage. You know what I'm saying? And like, just for people to see something they haven't seen before. And if they don't like it, that's cool.
Yeah, kind of how I feel about stand-up is like if you go there, especially open mic stuff, you may not like one certain part of my act, but it's a smorgasbord. Like
exactly.
I guarantee you there's going to be something that you might not like, but the guy next to you is laughing, and also I feel laughter is infectious. So even if you don't get the joke or don't laugh at it, the person next to you and the person on that side is going to laugh at it, and then all of a sudden you're just like,
I think that's why I get so frustrated when people, and it goes back to the absolutes all or nothing, I'm like, oh, so-and-so's not funny.
Yeah.
It's like, no, there's empirical evidence that they are.
There's a difference between I didn't find it funny and now I'm offended.
Yeah, and like that's not funny.
And
you can't make rape.
You can
funny.
be both, but they're not mutual. What's it? Mutually exclusive? It's the term mutually exclusive.
I think so. I became Little Miss MG, like the clown, or why I got the clown. But so back in 2014, like I said, I wanted to be a clown for the whole day of Halloween. Okay, I fucking love Halloween. It's my Christmas, and I didn't have this hat. I had a different hat, so this hat came later. But I just had this little hat. I did my makeup. I did the whole hobo clown thing.
Yeah.
And one of my friends and I, like, we went to Goodwill, for him to go shopping for his. I went and got my hair touched up. Like, I went and had lunch with my mom. Like, I did all these things in this day as this clown. And I was like, well, I need a clown name. And I love driving around. And, like, on purpose, I would drive around blasting the song What's New Pussycat by Tom Jones.
Oh,
and so at stoplights, I love dead eyes just looking.
This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. And I know you're probably wondering, thinking to yourself, man, this ad break looks and sounds an awful lot like the other one, but without the hat. And you know what? You're a little right, but you're also forgetting that I changed glasses. Nice. Anyway, if you're tired of these fake ads, reach out to your favorite companies like Raid Shadow Legends. Tell them to sponsor this podcast, Unloading Meat, and we'll get back to the show.
I was like, well, I need a name for this clown. So I named myself Puddles.
Yeah.
Because I met a pug named Puddles like 2 weeks before. And I was like, oh, that's cute as hell. And so like I did this whole thing. I did like hashtag
Puddles the pug?
Yeah.
That's
this
cool.
pug was named Puddles. And so I was like, Puddles the clown goes to Goodwill. Puddles the clown. Like I was just documenting my whole day. Puddles the clown hangs out with Garrison. Puddles the clown gets her hair done. Just as a little thing. And like when I was showing people a few days later, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I did for Halloween, and clicked on the thing. I saw this other fucking clown named Puddles. And do you know who Puddles Pity Party is?
No, I've
Oh.
seen this guy.
Yeah, he was on America's Got Talent.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and like, I saw this other clown. So I saw this. I'm like, who the hell's this guy? And so I looked up his video. He's just a walking juxtaposition.
Guy in the corner is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because he can't hear.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about Puddles, but he so I was like, well, I can't be Puddles.
Yeah.
That can't be my name. So I changed it to Pozza, which is Italian for Puddles. I was Pozza the clown, and like I did face painting as a clown. I would dress up for like little skits and stuff, and like I would just play with the clowning, and like I had no intention of ever bringing the clown back. I didn't think I'd ever do it with the comedy. Like I've done roast now as like the clown a few times, or been a judge as the clown, and that's the night I met you.
Yeah.
And to where like me going out like this, like we stopped at Quick Trip and I did some of my makeup in the car. Like this is nothing, going to drop Pozza and like professionally or as a comedian, I'm Missy Monica Genesius, which Monica Genesius is like my Catholic confirmation name actually. And then I just shortened it to Missy MG because it's a long ass name. Sometimes I'm just called MG. And when I started working for burlesque, I was a kitten for this burlesque show because of a friend. And like, hey, you'd be good at this. And so you clean up after the girls, and you're dressed like you're just like, I got paid to be like dressed like a little like dress slutty and walk around and pick up clothes. And like the cuck in the corner can agree. He's seen a lot of my comments.
Every time he's like. His reaction is just all.
This is how good of a friend he is, like dealing
just
with
deer in headlights.
Yep.
Just
that's
it's
often
like the first time I took anal. It's
Yeah,
like-
yeah. Oh, no.
What was that?
Say it again.
So that's what started it.
That's what started your comedy career. Yeah. I think
Anal?
Yeah.
Most of it-
Seriously? Anal started your. Okay, you have to tell me. Anal started your comedy career?
If
You can't leave a cliffhanger like that for my
it's like,
listeners.
If and when you hear my set,
I
Yeah.
will.
yeah.
Yeah, he.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that.
And I made this hat like I said 8 years ago, and I've just been adding stuff on, like with every show, and like in the clown shoes are kind of growing, but like I never ever thought I would be able to earn money. I definitely dealt with that imposter syndrome a bit. Oh yeah, but the cuck in the corner. So the cuck in the corner he's seen my comedy, he's seen me do well, he's seen me do bad, but when I'm like in drag or in complete clown, I'm in my element. I'm completely in my element. I'm not nervous about it at all. Sometimes I think you should be nervous to a degree because you care, but like
Agreed.
yeah. Like I don't ever want to be too comfortable on stage, to be honest. And that's where like, okay, so like the wolf in sheep's clothing with the priest, like that was a risky number.
Yeah.
That was a risky number for me. But like, and I made it like I made it silly to where I wanted this character, the wolf, to be like those old villains, or like those old school wolves, like the Auga wolves, and they're like kind of sleazy and they have the coats. Like I kind of wanted that in there, and I would take people's money and just like dabbing myself with it and blessing people, and then like taking it off, and that was my first time getting to pasties.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was terrifying, and I don't have pictures of it, but like
I don't know if I could put them up even with the paste.
yeah, I know, and like. Not full, it's just like, I had my little jacket open, and like that was so scary. And that was also a night where it was my first time I didn't do a corset. I didn't do anything control top. Like I was just like, everything's hanging out.
Gotta say, I respect it.
That's where how healing this shit is, because I wouldn't have done this shit a few years ago. And yeah, it comes from this character, from being, MG. Oh, I didn't even say that. So when I was they're like, what do you want your burlesque name to be? I was like, oh. Well, I don't know. I was like, well, I don't want to get something too. Like, I already confused people with Missy Monica Genesius. So I was like, I'll just be Little Miss MG. Like, Little Miss was a nickname I had from people, just Little Miss, and so Little Miss MG. People call me MG too, and so yeah. And then I did a drag competition, and I won it.
Nice.
The first night, I won. Thank you. I won another talent competition. It was mixed talent a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Mac Taylor's another one you should have on your show because she does a lot of stuff.
Shout out to Mac Taylor. Let's
Shout out
get you
to
on.
Mac Taylor. No, it's great because she has this. People can do comedy. People can do. Trash can do his puppets. We had comics play instruments.
Shout out to Trash too. Trash, I want you on here.
Oh yeah, we love Trash.
I went to open mic and I saw him there, and like it was the Bow cancer benefit, and they made him go first. And he did. I was laughing.
Yeah.
And then
It takes guts to do what
and
he
the
does.
moment that me and him really connected was I was hanging out with the guys that own Sesh Lounge and that weed dispensary. Which shout out to them. They're really cool people. They have their open mic now on Thursdays.
Yeah. I think it's every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday, yeah.
But I plan to go to one.
He had this little like camera prop thing,
Yeah.
like to prop up his phone so he could record his set.
Mhm.
Instead of the Sesh Lounge guy holding my phone and recording, he just asked Trash. He's like, "Hey man, he wants to record his set. Would you mind if we borrow your little cam thing?" And Trash was like, "Yeah, go right ahead. Everybody needs to record their stuff."
Yeah.
And he just let me borrow. Didn't even know me. I didn't even ask him directly because I was too scared to even interact with anybody. And that guy asked him, a stranger, to help another stranger, and Trash did it.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't know this, but that's honestly the reason that after the show, I wanted to personally give him a ride home.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I wanted to pay it back because, like, he said he didn't have a ride.
I've driven him too, and you can ask anybody. I don't like fucking driving people.
Yeah.
I do not like driving
So, Trash,
people.
if you're
but
watching
I'll
this,
drive Trash.
that was me, honestly. That was the moment that I was like, hey, if you need a ride or anything, I wanted to pay it back.
Yeah.
Because I'm a strong believer in, like, if you put out good in the world, if somebody does something good for you, try to pay it back any way you can. So I told Lynn Kay. Lynn Kay comes on here because the 2 times I did stand-up, she was super nice to me, too, like Roscoe, and was
She's
like,
so sweet.
introduced
Lynn
to
is
me,
so sweet.
so sweet. And
So, like, oh, she's lovely.
she was the
We
first
love
person
her.
that reached out to my anything I put on Instagram. It was you and her that reached out first to be on this show. So like I'm always indebted to you guys. I appreciate it. Really,
Yeah,
truly.
Of course. And that's what this community is about because like, you know, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody.
Well, and the,
You know, and like that shit's scary. And like I creeped on people and people remember when I was creeping on the
Yeah.
mics and like I'm kind of a creepy looking person. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I remember you.
Um,
I love this this dummy. I like this the first episode. I saw this and was cracking up about it. Podcasting for a beastie or
oh
dummy,
yeah, you like that? I thought that.
That's
I don't know if
beautiful.
he knows I was shirtless in it too.
What?
I was shirtless in that guest wanted ad. There was no shirt underneath the jacket.
Really?
Yeah, it was full, just my gut out and everything. I wanted to be classy, so I just wore a sports coat and a bow tie, and only that was it.
I love
I want
it.
to make a classy ad saying "fuck." Well, if I ever get stickers, you're welcome to use Unloading Meat's logo on there.
Absolutely.
Just
I
my
will,
face.
I will totally put
Can you
your
imagine
face-
that on nipples?
I will totally put that on there. I'll put
Apparently, my 2 ex-wives could.
Oh.
Suicide.
And that's what got the
That's
cut.
what I ended my set with last night. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I just
Mm-hmm.
went around the lines of like, that's why I stay fat. So if I ever try to, hang myself again, the rope will break. That's why part of my porn is like David Carradine style, or as I call it, Kill Bill.
Yeah,
I know my first wife likes to shout out everything on Facebook groups about how fucking bad of shit it is, and I'm like, okay, we can see that. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I
I wish mine died from COVID. Like,
Yes!
he didn't fully believe in it, and I was like, I really
Yes,
would feel so satisfied with him like dying in the hospital, like begging God.
mine was an
save him.
anti-vaxxer, strong believer, and still won't let my daughter with her get vaccinated. Yeah, that's what I had to put up with. Yeah,
It's gross.
yeah, like literally, like threatened legal thing if I ever snuck to get the vaccine for her and stuff like that. Like that's how bad it got. Yeah, she's a fucking cunt.
Say that again.
I love the word cunt.
I love the
You
word
really
too,
do.
and I
The British love the word cunt.
yes, and Australians, and it's part of the
Yes.
vernacular. It's like bitch. It's just natural, and when you listen to stand-up comedy as much as we do, like
Right.
you're gonna hear it. It's part of our dialogue. It's part of our vernacular.
Yeah,
Right.
I lived in England for 3 years, so
Yeah.
I heard it a lot. So like it's more natural for
Yeah.
me to use cunt.
No, people don't realize like how much shit we make up on
Yes!
stage. Like I have a whole bit about like where it's partially true. I talk about like my grandmother and like we just celebrated her birthday and
Yeah.
she just turned in her grave
Yeah.
due to the shit I'm about to say about her.
Yeah, I met a lot of people. I met like 40 fucking people that night, and like
you bet a lot and yeah.
Yeah.
And, like a lot of my burlesque people were there too.
it's
and,
fate. Like I said, like we talked
Yeah.
about, like things just happen
Yeah.
sometimes that are just meant to be, kind of
Yeah.
thing, like that.
yeah. Same with me, like, being a kitten.
Kismet or whether
Yeah,
it's called.
like I was asked to be a kitten for this burlesque show. My friends were involved, and like we had another one drop out.
Oh, I
due
thought
to
you
the
were
last
about-
minute. What?
I was asked to be a kitten and I got sexually assaulted. I was like, well, that was me. Oh no.
No, but like they're like, can you come do this? I'm
Man
like,
in the
yeah.
corner's like, I agree. That was my experience, right?
And I have a friend, I won't name who, but if she listens to it, she'll know. Like she said, I gave her confidence or like kind of inspired her to start wearing like shorts. She's like, I wear shorts because I'm usually always in shorts. Like
Yeah.
my thighs are usually out, but like. She's like, I wear shorts now. And like, she came to one of my shows and she was in this beautiful, like fishnet. She had a crop top, this fishnet and like this skirt. I'm like, you look so fucking hot.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can do that for each other. Just like when I see people do, seeing, the cuck in the corner do darker shit on stage, I was like, okay, that kind of gives you permission to, because it's scary.
Push the envelopes.
Yes, because
you
that
don't know where the line is.
Exactly.
This is my philosophy, and you could take it or leave it. And I'm not saying that's the right way or anything.
Right. Just your
It
experience.
goes in my philosophy on where the line is tied to also like the thing of like, the meme of like the Simpsons already did it. Like everything's already been talked about. The line is only where bad taste is. You can come at anything that's already been discussed or anything sensitive as long as you have your original smart take on it, your perspective, because that's what they're coming to see to comedy. In my honest opinion, you can recite the best jokes possible, but we want to see a personality. We want to see you, and the whole goal is, this is my perspective, agree or disagree, and if you agree,
Right.
you're laughing.
Right.
If you're disagreeing, hopefully I made
Right.
it at least smart, and then you
Right.
can laugh at the attempt.
Right.
I met Ron Jeremy at a porn shop in North Pole, Alaska.
No shit.
The North Pole.
What was that like? Let's talk about that. Come on.
I don't remember it too well because I was 19, but I don't even know why. Like he came to North Pole, Alaska, to this little porn shop. It's not even open anymore. It's like one of those you can go jerk off in the back kind of places. I shook his hand and I was kind of like, ooh, that's probably not
Yeah, that's
good.
probably
Yeah.
So we're gonna do in the last segment, guys, called the preheat.
The preheat.
Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, it's hot.
I want to hear your best roast about me. Call me whatever the fuck you want. We already talked about how I look like the Brendan Fraser whale.
Mhm.
I mean, like my dick and area down here has so many fucking layers. I look like the Michelin Man.
No, I have one for you.
Okay.
I was thinking you're kind of like the queer great value version, younger version of Louis Anderson.
Louis was a huge influence on me. Can you
yeah,
tell? Life with Louis was one of my shit. when I was a
Life
kid.
with Louis was my shit too. He's one of the first stand-up comics I remember.
Yes.
That's when I found out
Bobby's World and Life with Louis. That was Harry Mandel's show.
Yeah.
Was Bobby's World.
Yeah.
Those two shows changed me. Like that was Louis. I have it on my Instagram.
Mhm.
When Louis died, I was bawling. What?
And you've seen Baskets, right?
Yes.
Baskets is one of my.
I have a tribute still on tour. So for
We could totally cosplay as like Baskets.
I would do it.
And Christine Baskets.
I would do it.
Hell yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah.
I have a tribute to Louis with the day he died on my Instagram still because it broke me that day. Because like Life
Mm-hmm.
with Louis was like the first show I was like, this is a fat kid cartoon about growing up as a fat kid in
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a family, and I was like, I
There's
was
still- you can-
I was
there's
like
ep-
5.
Yeah.
I was like 5 when I saw that show.
Yeah, there's episodes on YouTube. I remember watching some. Yeah,
I get that. I like that.
Yeah.
The Sam's Choice version of me of
like
Louis Anderson.
great value. You're
Great
like
value.
you're like the queer great value younger version of Louis Anderson.
You're like the beardless Louis C.K.
How?
I don't know, but I'm just picturing his dick out, and that's I don't know. It just came to my
I
mind.
do
don't
have
know.
like the biggest dick like in Tulsa comedy.
It's true. It's true.
it's-
What else?
Big
So
dick
anyway,
energy.
we forgot to even finish the introduction. Guys, if you want to be on the preheat, you can. You can submit your submissions to unloadingmeat@gmail.com, subject preheat. But here's the catch. The only way I'm going to read your roasts of me on the show is if you include a photo that's verified that it's actually you, so that you allow me to retort. That's a Sam Jackson line. I don't know if you remember that from Pulp Fiction.
I don't.
God damn it.
I remember gorgeous Uma Thurman.
Oh, you just remember the chicks? And you say you're straight?
I still enjoy the beauty of women.
That's true.
I enjoy the beauty of he.
was that?
Okay, the cuck's shaking his head. I'm not fully straight, but
That's like
and it's shows that you can't choose your sexuality because like
Yeah.
I wish I could switch teams sometimes. Like
Yeah?
straight men are the worst. So that's
So-
all I had for you.
okay.
That's all I had for you was the.
Oh my god. What was that?
It was the balloon.
I thought my ear was coming. Like, what the fuck?
It is now.
No, it's bleeding.
And we're back.
You're making one more? Or are you just out? Oh, you didn't take your little blue pill?
Pumped it,
Wah,
man.
wah. Well, guys, I think we've had an amazing episode.
I
Thank you
think
so
too.
much.
Thank you so much. We'll do this again.
Do you have anything to promote as far as your next show? When's your next show?
Yes. Let's.
And we will throw it up
Yes.
on the screen.
Yeah, so we have Blaze Burlesque on March 3rd, and that is going to be at Elevated Fitness. It's a smaller, more intimate show.
Okay.
This one's themed is Thighs Wide Shut 2. And
Ooh.
it's a naughty one. This is a naughty one. This
so
is
this is
rated R,
so
like
this is-
borderline illegal.
This is like whenever those parents took their kids to go see Deadpool because it was a superhero movie. Like,
Yes.
know what you're getting into before you
Know
take
what
your
you're getting
kids.
into because and we give fair warning, you know, and there's like
I didn't expect to say taint. Like,
right. No, there's like going to be like bondage, but like my outfit includes bondage tape and making a gimp mask out of fishnet and tape. And as a clown, I'm going to have a like clown nose. Your new fetish has been unlocked.
Yeah.
I've been Missy Monica Genesius.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for watching Unloading Meat. I've been Jared Ralphie Allen. Thanks to Missy.
Thanks to
Guys.
the cuck in the corner.
Later. Have a good night.
Unloading the meat. 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 I don't even know what it means, but it is what it is. What it is.
Bye. Have a great time.